Charged with sex with a minor. He was detained.
Okay. All right. Also yesterday, these are exhibits that were shown in court. So this was Kid Cudi's other Porsche that, when Brian Steele was asking, the investigators, they said, well, does he have another Porsche? They said yes. Remember, they were trying to allude to the fact that maybe Kid Cudi burned down his or destroyed his own Porsche, maybe for insurance money, because clearly insurance would pay that out, right? And he's like, Kid Cudi has another Porsche. Did you put that in the report? It says, no. I didn't think it was relevant. So this is the other Porsche that he had. Then, here, this was the glove that was supposedly found on the seat. And they're like, so wait, you're doing a arson investigation. You see a bottle broken inside the vehicle. It was cut from the top. You say you can't really find fingerprints, but you find a glove. Well, wouldn't you test the glove? And they're like, well, we were going to go test the glove, but we asked Kid Cudi, whose glove is it? Or does he recognize it? And he says, yeah, that's my glove. That's my driving glove. And they're like, okay, all right, makes sense. We won't even look at it. So Brian Steele's just saying, this was a shoddy investigation. They also went into, obviously, the part where the mistrial came up about, which was the idea that LAPD destroyed evidence, but the AUSA tried to make it look like maybe Diddy had them do it, right? Or Diddy had somebody, in LAPD do it, right? Okay. All right, Chad. We're caught up. Let's go get into what's been happening, all right? Okay. Let's see. All right. So they started about 2 hours ago. So let's get caught up to speed real quick. So this is before the jury came in. Alexander Spiro. It says the articles in that scrapbook aren't being offered for the truth. Okay. Now they're always arguing about what could be used, what could be referred to. They did it in pre-trial before this whole thing all started, but each day everyone's they're adjusting their strategies. This is really a chess game. And they're like, well, they mentioned this yesterday, so we should be able to bring in this today. And then the judge got to make a decision. Alexander Shapiro says the articles in the scrapbook aren't being offered for the truth. Okay. So that's also this thing about hearsay and testimony that isn't, pretty much evidentiary. You know what I mean? You don't want people to go up there and be like, yeah, I think Diddy did it. Yeah, you know what I mean? Diddy was always mean to me. He sound like he did it, all that shit. No. That's not a testimony that's worth anything or should be even heard by the jury. Super prejudicial. And if you're offering that as the truth, which is usually what a witness testimony is supposed to be, either that or there's a few other things. I don't want to get into that right now. Okay, cool. So the articles in the scrapbook aren't being offered for the truth. The AUSA says the article that Combs wanted to get to the bottom of Biggie's murder, but the feds are investigating us. They have been trying to get this in. Submarinian says if it went back to the jury room as evidence, it could be prejudicial against the prosecution. But to let the jurors look at it as it's just as demonstrative, right? So if they flip through it, okay, if it's passed around, we want a limited instruction. So who's going to be cross-examining Mia? Shapiro says Steele is back in the game. So Steele is checked back in. Steele says, what if we redact the part about Biggie's murder? The judge says it's more than that. You could concede the articles aren't relevant to this case. It's that scrapbook that was put together. Now, I don't know what scrapbook you're talking about. Hopefully we get some answers in a second. Judge says, you've been given some leeway. I'll leave it to you. Steele says, I don't want to waive the issue. Thank you. The judge says the social media post, there's an objection. I'll overrule it. The text message, my sense are parts in that threads are hearsay. AUSA says they're trying to show that the defendant was going through some heavy shit, and that's why he was asking this way. The judge says, what about her smelling her own armpit? The AUSA says, I don't think that's relevant. The judge says, okay, 401. When they mention numbers like that, they're talking about this rule of evidence that they're quoting why they're admitting or not admitting. AUSA says at 8:55, the defense sent me a slew of messages from Deontay Nash. They should be excluded. So they're saying they just got it this morning. Donaldson says, judge says, Donaldson, what are these? Donaldson says, we want 2 photos in. The rest are for impeachment. So they look like they're trying to hold Nash in a impeachment way to show that he's been lying. AUSA says, I was told of the photos last night. Fine. The judge says, bring Nash back, then our jury. So look like their strategy is going to be showing that this guy, the sassy dude up there, the stylist, he's a fucking liar. Right? Give me a second. Cool. All right. So they bring, they also said, we booked this witness flight for 2 p.m. We're hoping he will be off the stand in time to make that flight. So all rise. Dawson says, how are you? Deontay Nash says, blessed. I could just imagine this nigga in court. Blessed and highly favored. Dawson says, DX 1806. That's an exhibit. It says, these are texts from you. Dawson says, what was Capricorn's Clark role in 2011? The mixtape. It says, nah, she was gone by then. Dawson says, what did she work on when she was there? So maybe the photo shoot you guys showed yesterday. I learned a lot from Capricorn, actually. Dawson then says, do you recall a picture of Cassie and the green hair? Nash says, yeah, that was a group idea. I walked the carpet with Cassie in New York at the VMAs. It was a curated look. By the way, if you notice, this guy is pretty self-centered. Like, anytime this isn't about your fashion looks. This is about Cassie and her abuse in a criminal trial. He keeps talking about what he did. Oh yeah, I walked the red carpet with her. I did that look. Like, niggas mad sassy. Hella sassy. Dawson said, did you have to get approval? Says yes from Puff. Then Dawson says, you said Mr. Combs was kicking Cassie on the ground. And you said the unfortunate eye gash incident, right? He said yes. Dawson says, you didn't tell the prosecutor she was kicked while bleeding? Said they didn't ask. I only answered what they asked. Dawson says, do you know Cassie was in a relationship with Kid Cudi while she was in a relationship with Combs? Nash says, oh, okay. He says, did you know or did you not know? He says, well, I thought her and Puff broke up. Yeah, this guy's mad sassy. Yo. He think he a star. That's the worst type of witness. They think the show's about them. Dawson says, Cassie was in South Africa. You were at the Revolt conference in Miami, right? Nash says, yes, I was there to style Lil Kim. Dawson says, so you... And Nash says, yeah, I put together her with Michael B. Jordan. I mean, he fine, so he fine, she fine, why not? Chad, I keep telling you, this guy's sassy, bro. The judge says, hold on. Look like the judge is about to scold the witness just to say, shut the fuck up until the question is fully asked before you answer it. And only answer what you're asked. Right? Because you could tell this gay dude wanted to say too much. And he's cutting off the guy while he's asking questions. Dawson says, so Gina was in Miami too. Nash says, no, you don't put that on me. See, he's mad sassy. Don't put that on me. They kept me away from seeing Gina. Dawson says, did Cassie get upset? Nash says, she said, why does he keep humiliating me in my career? So Dawson says, oh, so she was upset. Nah, not really. Dawson says, you set her up with Michael B. Jordan? Yes. And Mia drove it home, making sure she had his number. Dawson says, so a bad boy employee set her up with Michael B. Jordan. Well, he says Michael Jordan. It says, well, that's Michael B. Jordan. Don't mess that up. Yeah, this guy is sassy, huh? Dawson then says, do you know Andre Branch? Nash says, nope. So where you were aware that Cassie was in a relationship with Andre Branch? Oh, the cute football player. Yeah. But I never met him. He says, and in 2016 with Brandon of the NFL. The NBA, sorry. Who's Brandon in the NBA? Brandon Jennings? No, wait, let me Google it. Brandon Jennings, Cassie? Not Brandon Jennings, right? Which Brandon do you think they're talking about? Brandon Roy? Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy, Cassie. Brandon Roy's relationship with Cassie is that they're not romantically involved. What? Why would it just come up like that? Bro, I can't read the sassy nigga shit non-sassy. It's too sassy for me, even through text. Okay. It says, in these texts you talk with Cassie about Michael B. Jordan. You say, no one better say shit to me. LY. What is LY? Love you. Or maybe it's a typo. LY know everything. I don't remember. I'm just sure we were being antagonized by your client. Yo, this guy is so sassy. You can imagine he's shaking his head. All I know back then was that I was being antagonized by your client. Donaldson then says, so was Cassie upset by Gina? She'd say, girl. Chat, is my gay impression on point or not? Girl, let's go out and do our thing. Donaldson says, did you do what she wanted to do? But do what she wanted to? What? I don't know what this means. So now the gay dude says, actually, we're both pretty chill. We stayed in the house a lot, but that would be fair. Donaldson then says, let's read these messages. You do the blue, I'll do the other person. Nash says, ooh, you got some names in here. Donaldson says, just go ahead. As I said, chat, he's being mad sassy. Nash says, where you going? Donaldson then says, secret trip, because he's reading us Cassie. Where you, secret trip out town. Nash says, girl. Oh my God, this is so fucking. Bro, can I have Siri do this reading, bro? I don't want to, bro, this is, I gotta have like an AI do the reading, bro. Girl. It's crazy that Inner City Press is writing it out like this. Girl. Okay, everybody's laughing. So I guess this dude, you see, again, this witness is also thinking this is their moment because people in court is laughing at them. So that's why he's being funny. He's trying to get a little joke in. Like the gallery is feeling entertained, right? So, but he's doing a lot, which is probably hurting the defense attorney because he can't get straight answers. He's getting like these little snarky, snappy comebacks. Nash says, good friends don't pry. That's not my method. I just replied, girl. Donaldson then says, highlight the green part. Cassie's telling you, October 30th, 2013, after the incident with a cut on her face, she says, I've already been turning up too much. Donaldson then says, did you see her with a black guy on FaceTime around the time of the Intercontinental? Nash says, I saw it in person. When her makeup would wear off, you could see that shit. Donaldson then says, let Mr. Donaldson ask you the questions. And he keeps, this is the second time the judge is scolding this person. Stop offering too much information. Just let the nigga ask you the questions and answer what he asks, bro. Donaldson says, you read these. After Cassie says, this nigga is wasted. We both did the same. Nash says, is there a lot of people there? Ooh, it's talking about a Gwen Stefani song. Donaldson says, he says, take your broke ass home and ride into the sunset. Nash says, and we did. Oh my God. Donaldson says, did she mention to you about having threesomes with other men? Ugh, no, she didn't tell me. You could tell this gay ass nigga would be like, why am I not invited? Donaldson then says, Mr. Nash, read that to yourself, then lift up. On May 10th, you told the government the videos came from her phone. Nash says, no, I told them that he would tape her on her phone. Donaldson then says, isn't it true she said videos were from her phone? Nash says he would record on her phone. I stand firm on that. So basically they're asking about certain things he told investigators before the trial and now what he's saying in the trial. Donaldson says, you said Mr. Combs said, you won't do this one thing for me? Okay, and then they continue. You say you saw Mr. Combs pointing in Cassie's face in The Blind Dragon, right? But you never told the government that, right? The first time you said is at trial. Nash says, I guess so. I gave them very little by phone. She said she didn't want to go. Donaldson then says, you helped her pick her clothes for the court? Nash says, Wait. Oh, maybe he's still working with Cassie now. He says, you helped her pick her clothes for court. Nash says, she couldn't fit anything. She needed clothes. Donaldson said, for the pregnancy? Nash says, right? Okay, so he's still working with her now. Donaldson says, on that Friday after she finished, she called you and said, I'm done. Nash says, it wasn't like that. Donaldson says, did you and Cassie ever get super high? Nash says, what? No, I did not. And then the judge is trying to tell him again, just answer the fucking question. It's either no, I didn't, or yes, I did. The dude is up there like, oh, like you know, gay niggas, what? Oh, doing all that type of gay ass shit. Like the judge is like, bro, calm your sassy gay ass down, nigga. Like, why can't gay people just be like regular gay? Why you got me? Like, it's just always like flamboyant. Like there's nothing. Listen, being gay is straight. Is there a flamboyant G? Like, why they gotta do that? Why you gotta do so much? Girl, like, why you gotta do all that? Anyway, Donaldson says, this 29th birthday, you said she packed sex toys in her duffel bag from her bedroom, right? So now he's finally listening. Correct. Donaldson says, Mr. Combs didn't say grab the sex toys. Nash says they were going, and then Donaldson, I guess he cuts her off, says on the golf cart. Let's talk about Vegas. New Year's, 2016 to 2017. You said you were told Cassie was sleeping all day. Nash says correct. Put up DX 1847 for the parties only. So what is this? Nash says Cassie. Donaldson says the low budget producer you mentioned was there. Nash says, yeah, he was right next to me, snoring. Donaldson says, you say Cassie told you another man was coming over and asked you to leave. Nash says, both of us. Donaldson says, your reaction was sighing, right? Nash says, yes. Donaldson says, you saw a man walking around knocking on the door and they let him in. Nash says, yes. Donaldson says, there weren't no drugs, right? Nash says, we were doing them in our separate places. Once I start working, I just start going. I was packing my 10 body bags. Donaldson then says, then they went to a hotel and she didn't tell you she didn't want to go, right? Nash says, actually, she said she wanted to stay home, work on her music. Donaldson said, okay, just read the green, bro. Nash says, enjoy y'all time together. Y'all don't get much of this. All right. Donaldson then says, that's you telling Cassie in January 2017 to enjoy her time with Puff, right? Nash says, yes. Donaldson says, Cassie wrote, I spoke up for myself. And you wrote, you wish you were with them on that vacation. Basically, I guess, I hate niggas like Donaldson. Yo, I catch one of y'all gay besties in my girl's ear telling her some dumb shit, I'm slapping you too, and it's not going to be a hate crime. Okay? She looked like Cassie. Remember the vacation Cassie couldn't go on with Puff? And Cassie's bitching at Puff like, well, if I can't go because you're spending time with your kids, why is your baby mama there? And Diddy's trying to like bullshit to her like, no, that's their mom. It's not even me. I'm not there with her. I don't want to import her there. She's there because that's her kids. This is a family vacation. She just happened to be family. Diddy's an old school player. He just lying about everything, right? So I guess Cassie's now venting to her gay bestie. This is why people call them the male straight nigga who listens to a girl talk about another man, a gay best friend. Because this is exactly what gay best friends do. So the gay best friend, literally, the stylist, is literally telling her, girl, you wish you was on vacation with them. Stop capping. and Nash says, no, I meant Mexico, not with them. Okay. Donaldson says, Cassie wrote, the next room is on the beach. This one is on the golf course. I got everything organized. Nash wrote, LOL, do you have a lot of shit? Donaldson, as Cassie says, yeah, but we made all fit. Nash says, girl, you always on vacation. Jesus Christ. Jesus Cristo. Jesus. All right. Dawson says, did you stay in touch with Mr. Combs? Nash says, yeah, because he was cutting up. What do that mean? Dawson says, oh, I get it. You did a seafood thing with Cassie, right? Correct. Dawson says, DX1814. You know Kim Porter, right? The woman who tragically passed. Nash says, yep. Dawson says, did you know that Andre Harrell passed too? He said, yep. Dawson says, you texted Mr. Combs to make sure he's okay. Nash says, correct. Dawson says, Mr. Combs wrote to you, the traitor? You couldn't give me a heads up, with a black heart emoji. How is she? Did he mean Cassie? Damn, so I guess when Diddy find out that Cassie fucking a trainer, he texts the gay stylist saying, yo, really the trainer, bro? And you couldn't tell me that she was cheating with the trainer? You know, obviously this was, he hired her as a stylist for Cassie, but clearly this was Cassie's friend, so Cassie wasn't gonna go tell him, right? And Nash says yes. Dawson says, in 2020, you wrote to Mr. Combs, I love you. Anything you need, I got you. Nash says, yes. Dawson says, Mr. Combs won an award and you congratulated him. Nash says, I don't think so. I asked how to RSVP to his party for somebody else, Claire Summers. Dawson says, did Cassie tell you about a secret trip? AUSA objects. They sustain it. Dawson says, you deeply care for Cassie, right? For 15 years? Nash says, yes. Dawson says, did she keep secrets from you? Nash says, and I do from her. We don't got to tell each other everything. Dawson says, nothing further. Redirect. Maureen Comey gets back and be like, why were you afraid for Cassie? Nash says, well, things was getting violent fast. AUSA says, what devices did Mr. Combs use to film her? Nash says hers, meaning maybe her phone or whatever devices she owned. AUSA says, you said they appeared high at the 29th birthday party. Nash says, yes. AUSA says, was Mr. Combs in control of his actions? Nash says, yes. AUSA says, what did you say? Nash says, you're gonna go get some dick tonight. AUSA says, did she want to go? Nash says, no. Remember, it was a 29th birthday party. Cassie's having a party with friends. And in the middle of the party, Diddy says, fuck these niggas. Let's go have a freak off. So he wanted her to leave the party with her friends to go freak off. Okay? Okay, so he said, did she want to go? No. No further question. Donald, they said, any question from you? Nothing from me. Mr. Nash gets excused. The next witness will use a pseudonym. There will be no recording. Ooh. Witness comes in. How will you be identified? Mia. Who is this? What? Don't show this exhibit. What is this? My passport. Show it only to the jury. Combs says, Steele says, I want to see it too. Where are you from? Virginia Beach, Virginia. Who is this? Sean Combs. Okay, who's from Virginia Beach around Diddy? Come on, Chad. Come on. We gotta find out who. We gotta find out who, Chad. Who's from Virginia Beach around Diddy? Who? Mia is from Virginia Beach. Who? Come on. This ain't Jane Doe. This is a pseudonym. Or maybe this is Jane Doe. This may be Jane Doe. Okay. So who is it? Sean Combs. What did you call him? Puff. I worked for him as a personal assistant. Mia says, then as a director of development and acquisition. All right, we could just Google it. All right. All right. Why even use a pseudonym? We're going to figure out who you are. Director of development and acquisitions for Revolt Films. It's going to pop up on your LinkedIn, dummy. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Director of Development and Acquisitions, Revolt. Let's go LinkedIn. LinkedIn always got the shit. Casting, talent relations, director of business. Come on. Sarah Burns. Okay, fuck. Chat, help me. Help me. We're going to find out who she is. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. How is it working there? Puff's mood changed all the time. Okay, this is a woman. I don't got to do that voice. Pause. AOSA says, was he violent to you? Mia says, yeah, he threw things at me. Yeah, he threw me against the wall, into pool. Ice bucket on my head. Slammed my arms into a door. He sexually assaulted me. Wow, okay. So this is a victim, yes. Sexually assaulted you more than once? More than once. AOSA says, did you want to be in the arts? Mia says, yes. This was before social media. I thought if I put my mattress on my car and drove to New York, I could do it. I went to work for Georgina Chapman, the red carpet dressing. Then I was an assistant to Michael Myers. How did Mr. Combs hire you? I met with a recruiter. I met with HR. Is it HR? I met with HR and Tony Byes Fletcher. So, did Mr. Combs interview you? So yes, he did at his apartment. He was on the phone. He was wearing his underwear. The HR lady left. Said, did he put clothes on? Yes. Did you get the job? Yes. I was excited. How much did you expect to work? He says, a lot, but I didn't fully understand. So how much were you paid? $50,000. What did you do on your first day? HR told me I was on trial for 2 weeks. He said, where did you start? His Alpine, New Jersey house. I was there all day. Then where? Back to his office for a few more hours. And I was told Puff wanted me to come to the studio. How long were you there? Until 1 p.m. the next day. Did you go? He says, yes, to Puff's apartment, then home. How fast did you have to return? I didn't take a nap. I didn't want to risk it. How much sleep did you get during the first 24 hours on the job? I didn't. I took it as a challenge. There'd been a TV show a few years ago called I Want to Work for Diddy. It was like that? It was like that. He said, how did you deal with the lack of sleep? When I was young, I tell myself you could sleep at 3 p.m. Steele says objection. They overrule it. Says, how long did you stay up once? 5 days. I took Adderall with extended release. I could quasi-function and stay awake. When did you go to sleep? My hearing went and my equilibrium was off. Blurred vision, lights that weren't there. I cried. Were you told when you could sleep? Yes. By whom? Puff. Why did you stay awake that long? I was working. AUSA says, I'm introducing some exhibits. It take a long process to do it. And it says these exhibits are on the seal. Combs says we renew our objection. Judge says admitted under seal. Mia says, what is this? A list of my responsibility. I sent to Tony Byes Fletcher on November 10th, 2011. Puff had said, I don't know what you do all day. AOSA says let's focus on a few things in this document. Please read this. Mia says all of PD's or Puff Daddy's social media presence. AUSA says who's PD? Sean Combs, Puff Daddy. I wrote main liaison between Puff Daddy and Hollywood. Did you do that? Mia says yes. BlackBerry 24/7. Mia says I had to anticipate his moods. AUSA says why was that important? It dictated the day. AUSA says you wrote every day is different. And Mia says and that he could ask you to crack his knuckles or do his taxes. AUSA says did you have an apartment? Mia says yes in New York City. Were there much? He says no. My roommate joked that they live with a ghost. So were you there much? AUSA says in LA, where did you stay? In a staff house, then in a Puff house, 9933 Beverly Grove, then 9374 Beverly Crest Drive, then 200 South Mapleton. In Miami, where'd you stay? We stayed at Two Star Island, which is Diddy's mansion there. Says, could you leave? Only with Puff's permission. I only left at 2 a.m. after he was asleep. I got in big trouble. By the way, some of this is going to the forced labor shit, right? So this is, what she's describing, if you believe it, is inhumane, living conditions. Okay. Mia says security called me to say he was sending them to find me. It was at the first LA house, 2009 or 2010. AOSA says, were you allowed to lock your bedroom door? Mia says, no. He said, it's my house. No one locks my door in my house. So it really wasn't my room. AOSA says, but did security get to lock their doors? Mia says, yes. One had a deadbolt, another had a keypad. Mia says, I was told they were actively hiring other assistants. AOSA says, how long to Malcolm, the assistant who was there with you, to stay? Started. When you started, stay. Okay, so he says 7 to 8 months. There was another assistant named Malcolm. We haven't heard much about that person. It says, were you the only one then after the 7 or 8 months? Because Malcolm left. Says, yes, for a year. How did you feel? I didn't have time to feel. It was insane. Puff gave me a pep talk like we were a team. He said I needed a second brain. Did he hire more? Yes, eventually, but I still felt like I was responsible. Did you get punished in various ways? I was getting cursed out. My intelligence was insulted. My job was threatened. Who did those things? He says, Puff. Who's this? That's George Kaplan. He says he was another personal assistant for Puff after me. Okay, we're going somewhere now. What was Revolt Films? Me and Puff started it together. Let's look at Revolt Films. Revolt Films. Revolt Films. No. Oh, what the fuck? Can't find too much about it. Puff and I started together. Were you still performing personal assistant duties? Yes. How much did you get paid? $70,000, then $100,000. There were supposed to be bonuses. Did you get them? No. Judge said, let's break. They come back from the break. They're back. Who's this? Cassie Ventura. How did you know her? Working for Puff. We became close friends. Still today? She says, yes. So she's still cool with Cassie. How was their relationship? Highs and lows. Very unequal. Was there violence in their relationship? Yes. We'll get back to that. That's what AUSA says. What was Mr. Combs' role in respect to her career? Mia says he decided on everything. Shows the look. AUSA says 3T107R. What is this? He says an email from Cass to Puff and others. Me. AUSA says, when did she send it? Mia says it was 4 a.m. It says 7 a.m., but we're in California. It was one of their hotel nights. AUSA says, what did she write? Mia says she was canceling, apologizing to Interscope and others. AUSA says, did Mr. Combs respond? Please read. Mia says, Cass wrote about telling Slevin Hill. AUSA says, what do you think? What did she mean? What do you think? Says Stephen Hill of BT. Cass wrote, no support, no show. AUSA says, why did you forward this to Tony Fletcher? Mia says, I had to keep her informed. She was in charge of booking hotels. AUSA says, did you ever see Mr. Combs on a movie set? Mia says, yes. Everyone would be nervous. He would be inserting himself. AUSA says, what was his role in respect to Cassie's appearance? Mia says he was in charge of it. AUSA says, did you have exposure to Cassie's finances? She says, yes. He says, how? I learned the company paid her credit cards and that the places she lived were under the company names and their cars. AUSA says, did he take things away? Yes. Cars, jewelry, support. If he couldn't get on her phone. Ooh. So, like, I guess if Diddy, if he wanted to see her phone or she was, like, doing sneaky shit on the phone, he sent Dia Sims. Dia Sims. I think this is her. Let's look at Revolt Films. Oh, yeah, it's her. You got it. Chat, y'all so good. Revolt Films. Look. Yep. Some of those other names we're probably going to see. This is her career. Okay. She was promoted. First person with the role. Okay. She left in 2019, a year after Cassie broke up with him. It might be her, chat. Let's see. If she mentions these other companies, then that's her. We'll see. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, did he take things away? Yes, cars, jewelry, and support if he couldn't get on her phone. Mia says he'd keep tabs on her through me. AUSA says, what part of your job was it to spend time with Cassie? It was like, yes, I had to do whatever Puff told me to do. AUSA says, could you go wherever you wanted? It says, no, we have to be where Puff told us we could be. And if not, Mia says something very scary. The punishment was unpredictable but terrifying. AUSA says, we'll talk about that as we get through your testimony. How would Combs communicate with Ms. Ventura? Mia says sometimes through me. AUSA says, did you see violence? What kind? Mia says, I saw a lot of aftermath and injury she had. I had seen him attack her and throw her on the ground. I've seen him crack her head open. I've seen him chase her, things like that. AUSA says, did she fight back? Answer was no. Okay. Dia Sims.
Guest has been working with music legend and business mogul Sean Diddy Combs since 2005 and has played an integral part in growing his businesses. Dia Sims, president of Combs Enterprises, joins us now. So, Dia, you've had a really interesting career.
Thank you.
You actually worked at the Department of Defense,
yes.
advertising sales, and the pharmaceutical industry. How
So
did
many
you?
things.
Yeah, I mean, and
so
then
many spirits, liquor, drugs.
and now you have this really cool job. How did you land
Yes.
at Combs Enterprises?
Yes. So I used ad sales, and I was able to get Bad Boy Records at the time to be. I broke them as a.
It's a possibility that Christina Karam is this person too. Let's look up Christina Karam. Even though I don't think that woman would. Christina Karam. I don't think she would snitch on Diddy because I could tell she loved Diddy. But here's the thing. I do think that she was probably exposed to charges as well. She was exposed to a lot of charges. And we're not hearing her mention shit. Christina Karam speaks out. What? When did she speak out?
Been really seen too much.
I haven't heard nothing about this woman. Christina Karam. Let's see. I don't know. No, it's not Christina Karam because she mentioned she stopped working with Diddy. Didn't she mention when she stopped working with Diddy? Anyway, we will see. Let's watch this interview here.
Like the first client for this radio station in New York, and then I sold Sean John, etc. And when Puff was looking for a chief of staff, someone said, "You know what? You send a lot of emails at 3 a.m. I think you guys would get along. Will you come meet him?" And I did, and that was 2005.
Wow, 3 a.m.
2005. Does this person say they started 2005? Let's go up again. Is she from Virginia Beach? That's all we got to... Is Christina... yeah, we can find out who. Christina Karam, Virginia Beach. She did put out a... Look, she's a former chief of staff to Sean Combs. She denies this. For months, horrific accusations have been made about me in various lawsuits regarding me, my former boss. Oh, wow. So she stepped aside. In a statement obtained by TMZ, these false allegations of my involvement are causing irreparable and incalculable damage to my reputation and emotional well-being of me and my family. I've never condoned or aided or abetted. Okay, yeah, this sounds like she about to cooperate. Yeah. Never condoned, aided, or abetted the sexual assault of anyone, nor have I ever drugged anyone. The idea I would be accused of playing a role in or be a bystander to the R word of anyone is beyond upsetting, disturbing, and unthinkable. This is not who I am, and my heart goes out to all victims. I'm confident the allegations against me will be proven untrue. Yeah, she never spoke out about him, though.
Yes.
You're working hard still.
That's the hustle porn
4
that Miles
hours.
likes to talk
Can't
about.
stop,
Rising
won't
grind.
stop. Yeah.
That was pre-Instagram, but nowadays you
Yeah.
post every time and say,
Yeah.
look, the alarm clock says 4 a.m. and I'm up.
Right.
Rising grind. Let me ask you, I'm so glad we have you in because
Yes.
I cover sports business, and in that realm, the idea of having a big-name athlete come and rep your brand or appear in an ad is becoming less and less valuable. Brands are moving more toward, we're working with Steph Curry behind the scenes. He's an advisor, and he gets an equity stake in our startup.
Sure.
So in your world, we're talking about music stars, we're talking about Diddy, who's such a a big star. Do you find that he's still kind of as valuable as ever in terms of brands and companies wanting him to put his stamp of approval on something, be a partner with them, appear in something, and how do you kind of keep that momentum going for?
How does that change how you manage that brand? Because
enterprises.
I was just gonna say, better.
I want to hear her talk about Diddy, bro. Here we go.
So I think there's a lot of room to grow to understand the true business of entertainment. So the opportunity to work for Sean Combs to me was interesting and exciting because I thought I could learn something there. And what was initially interesting and intriguing to me about the position was like, you know, this is a guy who I can really, truly learn from. Before I came here, I've worked in everything from infectious disease to trainer jets. But here, being able to understand deeply what it takes to develop a fragrance, sitting in innovation sessions as we come up with the latest flavor for Ciroc vodka, those opportunities.
Yeah, I don't think this is her. She's not mentioning, because like she understands, she's not mentioning anything about liquor. She's mentioning films. This woman isn't talking about films.
Allowed me to grow my knowledge base deeply, which is beneficial to me. It helps me be the best possible professional that I can be. Now, having worked for Combs Enterprises for 12 years, I never had to go anywhere else because every single day there's a new adventure. It's exciting, and as I mentioned earlier, like I actually love the challenge of being in different businesses. Look back at good like 6 states ago. The journey from good to great.
I don't think this is her, bro.
So I will never forget the very first time that I sat down to have a meeting.
Laser focus her brilliance on helping one another because she understands that helping another person is really helping yourself. The organization of Thread does the ever-increasing hard work and the need of connecting communities truly one to another, truly from one zip code to where there's extreme poverty to a zip code where there's extreme wealth. In Baltimore, where we live, within 5 blocks, and the average life expectancy in some areas drops 20 years. Sarah has the courage of a knight and the mouth of a sailor. Exactly. Exactly the recipe for badass goodness and the exact kind of woman I'm so honored to call a friend. Thank you to IPG and the New York Women of Communications.
All right, we're not getting anything from that. Chat, give me another name. I don't think that's it. All right, AOSA says, you got punished. Mia says, in various ways, I would get cursed out, my intelligence insulted, and job threatened. Who did those things? She said, Puff. So who is this? That's George Kaplan. He was another personal assistant for me, for Puff, after me. What was Revolt Films? Me and Puff started together. Were you still performing assistant duties? Okay, no, I read this already. Sorry. Yeah, we're further down. Sorry. Okay. All right. Did you see violence? What kind? I saw a lot of aftermath and injury she had. I seen him attack her and throw her on the ground. I've seen him like crack her head open. I've seen him chase her, things like that. Did she fight back? No. What did you hear and see? Suitcases being thrown into the foyer. Did you see Cassie after that? She was outside crying in a bush. She looked terrified. She gestured, I'm not hiding. I'm not here. AUSA says, what did you do? I retreated. Did you tell anyone? I think the chef was in the kitchen. The sentiment was like, and Steele objected, because that's about to be like a hearsay, talking about state of mind pretty much, instead of what she's seen or what she has firsthand knowledge of. Sustained, what did the chef say to you? Objection. AUSA says not offer for the truth, and it was then sustained. So he says, what happened in Cassie's apartment? We were there, me, Cassie, and Deontay Nash. What were you doing? Helping her pack for a big trip to London. Puff came in banging on the door, very irate. How did he get in? The key from the front desk. What was Mr. Combs asking Cassie? He said, have you been drinking or something? She hadn't been answering his calls. What did Mr. Combs do? He came in after me and Deontay screaming. Has she been drinking? He was crazy aggressive. He attacked her. Mia says he threw her to the ground. Me and Deontay jumped in and tried to stop it. What did you do? Deontay's very small in comparison to Puff. There was a little tornado going on. me and Deontay was in a position where I was scared he was going to kill him. So I jumped on Puff, but he threw me off against the wall. I felt like it was in slow motion. I realized we were in big danger. He ran to the bedroom and grabbed Cass. Under the bed in this wood bed platform, he slammed her head into the corner. Wow. So again, they're still kind of in a roundabout way going with this idea. Like they're giving different testimonies, multiple point of views about some of the same incidents that have been laid out before. Now, here's the thing. What this person, Mia, has, what they have said, though, is they agreed that, no, not they agreed. Mia says that she was also sexually assaulted. So we're supposed to get some new evidence. But right now, at least as far as her testimony goes, she's just corroborating some of this abuse stuff on Cassie. Okay? Okay, perfect. Hold on, my bad. I'm like checking my messages and shit. Sometimes there's some stuff there. All right. AUSA says, what injuries did Cassie get? Her head was gushing blood. AUSA says, what did Combs do? He got into protective survivor mode. He said, call the doctor and so-and-so. Tell him Cassie was drunk and hit her head. Why did you do it? Mia says Puff said so. So it looked like they called the doctor and they told the doctor, hey, she hit her head. And apparently the employees went along with that story, even though they knew that Diddy supposedly banged her head against something that was a knot. Okay? All right. Interesting. Yo, who do y'all think it is? Y'all don't think this is her? Deontay Nash interview. He's sassy. We know there's an interview of this nigga somewhere. He looked like he couldn't wait for his day. Is this him? Have we never heard from Deontay Nash before? The reason why I'm saying is that if we could get an interview of Deontay Nash, he might be like, oh, I work for Puff, I'm one of the assistants, or he might talk about his time and mention Mia's real name. Because Mia worked as a assistant with him. Y'all saying Ike Turner don't got nothing on Diddy? Yo, who could it be? I think because this person went by a pseudonym, I'm even more interested.
And this woman right here, the most. Stay up. Please get this woman. Yo, watch the water. Watch that water. Please watch that water. Only white people born is say free.
Yes, Miss Combs got another Elizabeth Taylor today.
Smile, be strong. Love you guys so much.
Did.
Tina, love you.
I hate when people like, oh, I love you. You don't know them people. Them people ain't put that damn record on there. Oh, I love you. Say something.
Safety, everybody. You already know.
What?
They come around this way. What side? The other side?
This is like outside the courtroom.
Chilly, right?
Hey, come here.
Go, Deontay.
Oh, that's Deontay.
Deontay.
He's coming on out here. Hey, when you come out here tomorrow, you better answer me.
Deontay. What happened? They call him Deontay.
It's Quincy.
And this woman right here, the most. Stay up. Please get this woman. Yo, watch the water. Watch that water. Please watch that water. Only white people born is safe, free.
Yes, Miss Combs got another Elizabeth Taylor today.
Smile, be strong. Love you guys so much.
All right. Sitting here waiting for some more tweets. We're caught up. They're about to go to lunch in a second. Mia says his eyes were black, okay? I guess they're describing how Diddy looked. It was like he was looking through me. He was completely, I guess they're trying to say how angry Diddy was. The judge said, let's get to the next question. AUSA says, did you see Mr. Combs take drugs? Mia says, yes. How high did he appear? Sometimes the life of the party or hyper. AUSA says, where was this? Ibiza or Burning Man or one of the music conferences. AUSA says, when he smashed your head in, did he seem high? And Mia says, no. Did you go to Prince's party? Mia says, yes. What happened the night before? There was a big awards ceremony. It was at a suite in Beverly Hills. Mia says, he told me to stay with Cassie, that he was going to be at his house with his kids. But then I heard about Prince's party. AUSA says, what did you do? Cass and I debated like little kids if we should sneak out the house. So, okay. And by the way, this has helped trying to prove this RICO case for the government. Diddy would literally just have his workers stay with Cassie, would have his security guard stalk her to make sure where the fuck she was while he was going to go fuck his other bitches, right? Now, some of y'all could be like, well, he's just a rich player. It's being framed here as this is a racketeering organization for sex trafficking. So he would have his assistant stay with Cassie. You could tell why. Like, Diddy was jealous that maybe she was gonna fuck some other rapper or something, or NFL player. So he would tell her, or he would tell his assistant, watch her. And especially the times he couldn't be around her because he was with other women. So if you kind of realize this, this is definitely some power and control type shit. Is it racketeering? I guess depending on how you frame it. So he would put his assistant over there with Cassie. He would go do some other shit, right? And you got to imagine when it says he was going to be at his house with his kids. He was going to be at his house with his kids, and probably Kim Porter was there, right? Or maybe another woman or something of the sort. And he would just have people watch Cassie when he couldn't be around, right? And they're like, oh, we got to sneak out the house. Mia says Prince performed on a little table. I saw Puff come in with his bucket hat. We lock eyes. I thought, oh, crap. So it looked like they snuck out the house, went to Prince's party. Remember, Diddy was supposed to be with his kids, right? Diddy was supposed to be with his kids. Obviously, I keep telling you, like, Diddy would just probably lie to Cassie and be like Cassie would be like, baby, can I see you tonight? And Diddy would probably be like, I love you, Cece. I love you, baby girl. I can't be with you tonight. I got to be with the kids. You see, that's the thing about dudes with kids. When you don't want that side girl or the other girl to like be up in your business, you tell them, I got to be with my kids, and you're not my kid's mother, or my kid's mother going to be around, or this is a family thing, so you get them out the paint. So Diddy would lie to Cassie and say, yo, I got to do some family shit. She would understand, fall back, but Diddy know he finna go cheat, so he put his assistant to watch her that she can't go cheat. So then the assistant and her like, yo, let's go to this party. They pop up at the party. Diddy pop up at the party too, right? It says, okay. So it's a Prince performing a little table. Then I saw Puff come in with his bucket hat. We locked eyes. I thought, oh, crap. Cassie just booked it. AUSA says, where did you go? It says, across the street where there were woods or bushes. But Puff caught Cassie and had her on the ground. Damn, where was everybody else at? Mia says, Puff just started attacking her. But Prince security quickly intervened. AUSA says, and later, Mia says, I went to another hotel. The next day, HR told me Puff was suspending me without pay. Did they say why? They said Puff said I was being insubordinate. That makes sense. Yeah, I told you to watch my chick while I go cheat, and you're over here helping my chick possibly go cheat. Also, you're helping catch me up because y'all snuck out when y'all should have stayed at the house and y'all came to the same party or happened to show up at the same party I'm at. The fuck? Diddy was just trying to cheat in peace. All right. Holy shit. Yeah, these stories they're kind of hilarious. I ain't gonna lie. That's a good reason to suspend your fucking personal assistant. I told your ass to stay with her over there and y'all trying to party? Hell no. Give me a second. Let me I'm gonna catch up on donations. Here we go, guys. By the way, thank you guys for all the donations and all the memberships. Guys, please, everybody, become a member. Become a member. If you can, please become a member. All right. Let me read your donations. Bugsy Artist says, yo, you think at some point security is either going to be charged or testified? No, I think they're getting through all the personal assistance. They're breaking this shit up. I don't think we're going to see any more sex workers. They laid the groundwork for it. At time to time, as we get through some of these stories, we'll see a cop here or there, an investigator here or there. We might see a security for maybe a building or like, a clerk or somebody who worked front desk, depending on what story they're trying to pinpoint. But I think we got through male escorts. So I think they had to put the victim first. So they did Cassie first, or they did Cassie first, then all the male escorts. I think we're done with male escorts. Now it's all personal assistants. We've had like a few personal assistants back to back to back. Capricorn Clark, personal assistant. Mia, personal assistant. What's the zesty dude, personal assistant. So we're getting through all the personal assistants, and I think we're going to get to security afterwards. Security's got to come, yes. I think D-Rock is coming up there. I think Roger Bonds might come up there. I think Uncle Paulie's going to go up there. Again, I don't think none of these people bang with Puff like that. And I think here's the thing. When you got certain people in your life for that long, it's almost like you got to keep them around. Because like now, everybody who got fired by Puff, they're coming back around. But they're coming back around testifying for the government. Right? So, yeah, I think we're going to get a security version. And by the way, I think it's looking like Mia is just a victim too, but she hasn't really talked about, she talks about obviously some abuse that he did to her, but we haven't seen exactly the extent of how everything went. Here we go. Okay, cool. I'm surprised that Diddy would show up to a Prince's party and just wail on Cassie just in public. I thought all these beatings, like he would probably do around his employees, but not like, he sees her at a party. He'd probably be like, all right, yo, get in the car. And he's like, I'm going to fuck you up in the car shit. Not, I'm fucking you up at the party and Prince's security got to jump in like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Chill. But also, you got to remember, it is Diddy. So everything was probably like, kind of like established or set in stone where people are looking at it like, dog, you got to cover up for Diddy or you can't check him too much if you've seen him doing something like that. And people were probably too scared to say anything because, Diddy showing up to a Prince party was a big deal, right? Double G, double N, thank you for the 10. It says, I'm here for the crash out on rappers. Pure comedy. I'm hoping we don't have to do that today again. Fatima Jade, thank you for the 2. She says, I believe that Mia is Sarah Schridnecker. Who's this person? Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. Thank you for that. Let's see if we can find it. Huh? That's the baby mom's. What? Wait, why do they have... This Kim Porter right here. Wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. She definitely was involved in some... Ooh. Sean Combs is developing a TV series, The Hustle, based on the life of his former assistant. You might have got it. Sarah, ooh, you might have got it, chat. You might have got it. The hustle will now focus on who became an executive at Revolt Films. Nah, chat. Yo, who did that? Who did that? I know you guys are, you guys are smart. Oh, you might have got it on this one. You might have got it on this one. Oh, shit. Has anyone dropped Sarah? Cassie's first public outing after Diddy's arrest was with another former assistant, this woman, and they're saying, has anyone dropped Sarah Schnedeker into the chat? It's her, chat. It's her. Look, she was cool with Cassie. She's still cool with Cassie now. Oh my God. Look, I just get into this. Look. Holy shit. Nah, y'all got it. Y'all got it. Let me write this down, my little notes. Okay, yeah, y'all got it, I think. Good. Notepad. Mia is Sarah Schredecker? I don't know how to say her name, bro. What country is she from, bro? Okay. Wait. Where the fuck? No. Okay. Working for Sean Diddy Combs has a fair share of perks. You get to tag along to the hottest events. Deadline reports he signed a new ABC sitcom tentatively produced The Hustle. The comedy is based on Diddy's real-life assistant who follows a small-town girl who gets a job with an A-list hip-hop mogul. Oh, let's go to the Deadline article. The Deadline article has been deleted. Why is the Deadline article deleted? Chat, y'all got it. You fucking got it. You guys are so fucking smart. I love y'all. Here we go. It was a scripted programming, single camera comedy, received a script of commitment. We need the script. It's real life events of the Diddy's right-hand woman, a small town girl that lands a job working as an assistant to a street-educated billionaire mogul, where she's instantly thrown into the world of extravagance, debauchery, and adventure. They were going to pen the script with the former attached to the director. Okay. Wow. You guys got it, this one. Holy shit. They take a break. The jury leaves. So how much longer on me is direct? It says the rest of the day. Oh, she's a key witness. They're gonna use all day to do direct. We'd like her off the stand by the end of the week. Meaning, well, today's Thursday, right? Yeah. So tomorrow. So they're hoping they'll finish today and they'll give the cross tomorrow and could probably do redirect and recross tomorrow. Wow. Who just became a member? Yo, Devonna Robinson, welcome to the chat gang, my girl. Ron Green, thank you for the 5 to act. I now understand why you say what you want. A lot of these niggas aren't real, and in real life, they want to avoid confrontations. Yo, Dash, thank you for the 5. Talking about, yo, you ignored the first super chat, playboy. I'm trying to take you shopping. You deserve it. You've been putting in that work. Love, King. Love. Yeah. Stop it, bro. All right. So we get to know who this is now. Dawson says, I'm going to let Dawson take the time we wanted. Agnifilo says, I'm not blaming the court. It's a pattern I'm seeing. Judge says it's common courtesy. Okay, so what are they talking about? They said, this is a problem. First it was a flight, now this. Ooh, so they're basically saying, y'all are giving us time constraints with these witnesses. The judge is like, yo, hey, I let Dawson get the time he wanted. And Agnifilo says, I'm not blaming the court. I'm just seeing a pattern. Judge says, it's common courtesy. Agnifilo says, I don't know how long Mr. Steele's cross is going to be. They don't need to put these things on record. Judge says if we could complete this witness this week, fantastic. It keeps things moving. ASA Comey says many of our witnesses are flying from across country. So they're addressing why they're having deadlines on when these people should be off the stand. And so we're having people fly across country. We need to know for flights next week, Monday. Mr. Nashcross was twice as long as the direct. So they're saying, that we're already allowing the defense twice the amount of time without witnesses. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Smizer says Mr. Steele tells us he anticipates the cross being an hour and a half or 2 hours in no event longer than the direct. Not to hold him to it. The judge says, I want to keep on schedule. Steele says, how late will we be going? The judge says, latest 4 p.m. So they're trying to do this scheduling thing, and Brian Steele is not trying to be rushed or hurried for time. Okay? Interesting. So, chat, they're on lunch. But y'all are so fucking smart. Y'all got it. Has she ever done an interview? And I'm wondering, what year was this? Because Diddy, so this is in 2015, Diddy greenlit a series about her. I wonder why. Diddy used to not really try to promote those women who were in these type of positions, but look like this one, he wanted to. This is her and him. This is her and him. Oh, yes. Oh. This is her and Cassie. Oh. Does she got an Instagram? Instagram. Oh, shit. Oh, she do. No, that's not her. That's not her. That's not her. It's not. This is her and Diddy. Wow. Look, Cassie smiles at dinner with friends in her first sighting since Diddy got arrested. This is her with Mia, quote unquote. Sarah. Oh, wow. All right, come on, man. Of course, they showed me a fucking burger thingy. Dash, thank you for becoming a member. Here we go.
You can get a son of...
Oh, my God, they ran it back. How did they run the burger ad back? Yasmin, thank you for becoming a member. Who's this gifted? It's my boy Top723, man. Shout out to my boy, man. He just made it rain in the chat. 5 gifted membership to the Academy. Also, my boy, Mr. Palmer. Palmer. Okay, yes, look. Yes.
Have a good night. Good to see you, Cassie.
That's Cassie.
Hey, Cassie, how are you?
They had dinner.
How do you feel about all the allegations with Diddy going on right now? Do you feel justice is being served right now? Have a good night. Good to see you, Cassie. Hey, Cassie, how are you? How do you feel about all... Good to see you.
Yeah. You think they plotted against Diddy? Look, remember, she just got that 20 M's from Diddy. She got that 20 M's, and now her and Mia is like, yo, Mia, you know you got to sue him too, right? That's what she probably said, yo, I got my 20 M's. I'm good. You ain't going to get some bread off that nigga too? You know he done. Let's get the bread off this nigga, and then after, yo, let's just send this nigga to jail for life. Like, fuck it. Look how Cassie's smiling. Cassie's smiling like, yo, this is the aftermath to a freak. No, I'm playing. But let's take a toast to putting Diddy in jail for life. Look, they're walking out, they chilling. Say, girl, we gonna send that bitch ass nigga away for... Oh, Schnecker was working on a documentary about working for Diddy. I guess, remember, her show didn't ever come out. Schnecker. And she probably is... Yo, she's probably working on the... You know, she works in film. The Surviving Diddy doc. Oh, my God. The Surviving Diddy doc? Oh, holy. Holy. Y'all found Surety quickly. Oh, what is this?
I mean, you know, when I watched it, what stood out to me initially after Elizabeth Wagmeister got it.
I'm trying to find everything we could find about this woman. Is this her? 10 years ago now. Puff Daddy. This is search Puff Daddy.
I know you have to head back in there. Thank you so much, as always, for your great reporting, your great...
Okay, all right. So, court is back. And, you know, we took the little break for the Tory stuff. Again, I think Tory... And let me actually finish up this idea or thought on Tory's points. I think Tory has to hire a hugely powerful person. Let me tell you how most of this shit goes, honestly. When Kodak and Wayne got a pardon, it was the same person that made both of those happen. Very powerful, very influential, very politically aligned. Those people work with rappers, but they work, I don't want to just name drop. They work also with politicians. It's a couple of those people. You start realizing who are the players. They keep favors and then they redeem favors. When you're gonna get pardoned, it's not by popular demand. A lot of times pardons are given out when people are on their way out. They're not over here trying to like gain the love of the public. They're over here trying to, yo, good looks on get me elected. You did A, B, and C to get me here. So when I'm getting out, I'm gonna repay you with. It's one of them ones. I bet it's a lot of this ain't, oh, I'm doing this for the goodness of my heart. I'm already telling you that politically it don't line up that Tory gonna get a pardon. So I'm watching, I see tremendous public support. I'm not seeing that high power, like, and with all due respect, the Anna Paulina or Anna whatever, she's a rep in Florida. We need somebody big. Pause. We need some significant people to jump on board here. And then I'll be like, I think this could happen. I'm going to be honest with you. It would be dope if Kim K got on. I know you might be like, oh, Kim K's just a celebrity. We got Drake who signed this. Yeah, that's cool, but they're not politically aligned. Kim K has been moving with her Innocence or whatever project she got going on because she's been getting people free or taken off death row. She got some power in that world. You want to align with somebody like that that's also a celebrity, but then you got to align with some other powerful people. That's what I'm seeing missing from Tory's team right now. Because, again, it was good to read all those things, but if you went into reading that whole thread that Tory's team put up on the website, if you thought he was innocent before, you probably just think he's more innocent now. And if you thought he was guilty before, you're probably still not that convinced he's not guilty. You probably just would probably say, you know what, maybe there is a reasonable doubt that he did it. But you probably are not completely on his side. I'm going to see how this goes. Because again, I feel like we've hit the level of what the hell is going to happen next. Like Tory's team, they're pushing the line. I think more and more people and the public is getting on Tory's side, but how will you leverage that? So I don't know. I'm trying to see. Also, here's the thing too. What I've noticed is that I think Tory, the way how shit is happening, I think Rock Nation done scared pretty much everybody into really being that much gun-ho to try to get Tory out of jail. The reality is, look, Milagro got sued. Now she don't even got no lawyer, supposedly. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey, as much as people like Tory and they might think he's been taken advantage of, nobody want to go up against Rock Nation. That's a fact. I don't want to go against Rock Nation. I'm good. You feel what I'm saying? So me, I try to cover it even keel and keep it moving. I'm going to keep it a being with you. And I think Tory's team and his family and father, they gotta try to get some political connects to kind of agree with them. But I do believe the sensitive nature of a woman being allegedly shot or abused by a man, people are unwilling to touch that, even despite some of the evidence that point that he might be convicted, maybe unfairly. Most of the reason they don't want to touch that case, Meg Thee Stallion's still alive, and she is very much still popular. So you go against that, and Alex Spiro comes out and smears your entire political career as a woman shooting domestic abuser defender, you're donezo. You feel what I'm saying? So I think, I feel like I'm seeing the things fall in place of Tory. I just don't know how the picture is going to come together. Do I think that, anything is something? Yes. Do I see the goal? I don't see the goal right now. But I'm here watching. Okay. Next thing, I didn't want to talk on the boss man. Yeah, we got to break up some of this coverage of like this Diddy shit, man. If I'm not like thoroughly entertained, I wonder about y'all. I'm like, maybe y'all not like thoroughly entertained. Why did I go to Diddy's profile? See, subliminal shit. No, Boss Man D-Lo. So Boss Man D-Lo, remember like there was a transgendered individual who claimed Boss Man D-Lo was trying to fuck. Now, Boss Man D-Lo basically, in true gangster rapper fashion, basically said, man, stop playing with me. I'm finna kill one of y'all niggas, okay? And, yeah, the person whose name is Timmy Banson has admitted that they lied on Boss Man D-Lo. They actually claimed that the messages they put up claiming it was from Boss Man D-Lo were actually not real. It was AI. It was edited. It was Photoshopped, okay? This is what the person said, and I ain't gonna lie to you. Yo, Boss Man D-Lo, I don't know if it's the messages that were edited, but if you DM a motherfucker looking like this, Boss Man D-Lo, okay.
I'm coming on TikTok to address the Bossman situation. Bossman D-Lo never messaged me. It was AI. It was edited. It was photoshopped. I did everything good with the video of him texting me because my homegirl, it was my homegirl's phone. He messaged a real female. She's a popular influencer that I hang out with. So I made it seem like he messaged me, but he never really messaged me. And I made a fake thread of me texting myself back. I know it sounds crazy and I just did all this stuff on the internet for attention, but a bitch was bored. And I thought it was funny, but now I know it's not funny because I'm really fucking with this man's career and his money. I'm sorry, you guys. Y'all can.
Yo, Timmy Banson, I'll cut it here. You need to apologize to all people of the transgender community for putting their lives in danger. Let me tell you this. Here's the sad and unfortunate truth. When y'all play around with straight men who really have no business even interacting with someone of your kind, and I say that not disrespectfully, but heterosexual men who want normal women, and when y'all try to insert yourself in the situation, and y'all know exactly what y'all do, because even if, let's say he had messaged you put this out to embarrass him, because it's still that taboo of a rapper, a straight rapper, a perceived straight rapper dealing with a transgender. So you put it out to embarrass him, to try to hurt his financial ability, to ostracize him from the hip hop community. The reality about this is, them niggas is ignorant. The dude couldn't even form a proper response to say, this person's lying on me. All he could do is threaten violence. When you do shit like this, it's all fun and games until that nigga shoot one of y'all niggas in the head. That's a fact, and I'm not wishing this happens. But we have to be clear that when we then speak about violence against transgendered or even any individual of the LGBTQ community, we don't condone it. Everybody could be able to live whatever life they want to live. But there are a lot of people who, if they feel their reputation or their livelihood is being taken away because you're lying on them, saying that they're undercover gay or they like transgenders. Now, again, to some people, nobody cares if some people do. To certain rappers who may have grown up that yo, I'm a gangster, that can't be my repertoire, or that person might want to clap one of y'all. And you not only put yourself in danger, Timmy Banson, you absolutely put other transgendered individuals in danger. Let's be very clear. And I told y'all this story. One time a Nicki Minaj little fan person tried to get me caught up, right? They were transgendered. I think I just noticed I'm like, and I just stopped talking to them. But also, I've seen like a friend of mine thought it was a female. I forgot how the person looked. But the person was upfront and said, yo, hey, I'm transgendered. Oh, my friend, I ain't into that. Okay, cool. Both people went their own ways. The reason why transgenders to a certain extent still ain't accepted in like, just mainstream conversations and shit is because y'all do weird shit like this. Even if the nigga message you, say for whatever reason, he like, I ain't gonna lie, the picture was crazy. I don't know how he could think that's a woman, but whatever. Say that's his flavor. He just like a bald chick that looked like that with no titties and whatever. Okay. But he made a mistake. The mere fact you try to embarrass him, the fact you try to embarrass him is that this is seen as something nasty. That's the thing. Like this, if I out somebody for trying to fuck with me, I am embarrassing them. It's like I know there's something wrong with me. This is what I was saying to Saucy Santana. When your diss to me is a gay slur, it's like you're telling me, like it's offensive to be you. You get what I'm saying? So like when people like this, like you just propagate the divide between men who are heterosexual and women or men, whatever y'all call yourselves, transgendered individuals. Because now, again, people don't really want to talk to y'all. Oh, well, if I just treat you like some random normal person, you may flip the story saying I'm trying to fuck. Now, okay, don't even ask me about nothing. Please, don't ask me about nothing. Let's not communicate. You can see how that creates a divide, and that usually going to create hate or bigoted views or ignorance on both sides, right? Then, again, you think you bored. I'm pretty sure Boss Man D-Lo, let's say, who knows, maybe some transgendered individual does hit him up. Bro, the next person he's making an example out of. I guarantee Boss Man D-Lo go to his show and let's say a transgendered individual is there and said, hey, can I take a picture with you? I love your music. I'm pretty sure he might do something because he's like, man, oh, y'all niggas is playing with me now. So this is the dumb shit that I hate that, transgendered individuals or homosexual individuals do while they're also screaming for acceptance. They use any type of association as a shaming tactic to try to hurt people, whether they lie about it or not. And then they wonder why it's seen as so negative to be talking to them, be in cahoots with them, or being them.
I can bash me, I can hate me. I really don't give a fuck.
Anyway. Okay. And all right. And you know the funny thing about this, and this is what like social media and TikTok and this bullshit is. I guess people start getting on him. They're like, yo, bro, like, what are you doing, bro? Later, he posts a picture of some money talking about, I got hush money. Like almost in, like going back on what he said. Look.
This stuff on.
He later posted a thing making it seem like, oh, I got hush money. Look, I don't know if y'all seen this. There's a post with like, there's a post where like this person is like, bro, if I don't even want to like, yo, my algorithm got so many bad bitches on it, but I don't even want to type it in the search bar to like find the pictures to show y'all. I don't even want, yeah, I can't, I got to type this on a burner account. My Instagram too fly. You know, Instagram suggests what you be looking at. If Instagram started suggesting me Them Transformers, man. Man, come on, man, nigga. Hold on. What's the name? Timmy Banson. I'm trying to find the image. So he posted a picture of him sitting with money, and he captioned it "Hush Money." And I'm like, how corny is this, bro? Oh, it's still on. All right, fuck. Yeah, it's still on his Instagram. Timmy Banson. Okay. Boy. All right. He posted this money and he said "Hush Money." And it's like lame, bro. Like, it's lame. So now it's like you're still playing with the dude. You're playing with him. Actually, you're playing with him worse. Pause. So you say some shit saying he tried to fuck you. Even if, because I was reading that message maybe possibly two ways, but I ain't gonna lie, just off your picture, like, no disrespect. Actually, take it how you want. Nigga, you look like a nigga. Like, you don't look like, you look like a whole nigga, bro. Like, you just, like, I don't even, anyway. There was a way to read the message that maybe Boss Man D-Lo wasn't trying to be offensive. If that was him messaging you, and he was just like, nah, I ain't into that. He ain't really say that though. So I can't even defend him. That's crazy. All right. So that happens. But now you came out, because I could imagine, yo, Boss Man D-Lo feeding a lot of people. And I could imagine some of them people like, man, we got to go do something to this nigga. So they probably start threatening this nigga or whatever. This nigga comes out and says, yo, I capped it. I basically didn't. This is all a lie. All right, cool. It's all a lie. So now you going to say all that shit, right? And then they're getting, TikTok, he probably getting cooked on TikTok. Like, yo, bro, you're hurting the transgender community. You got to stop lying on straight men. Like, this is why we get hurt. They're probably saying all that shit all day in the comments. Then this motherfucker still wants attention, goes on Instagram, posts money and says "Hush Money." Like, come on, bruv. Somebody said Boss Man was probably on the drugs when you texted. Bro, I'm gonna just be honest with you, bro. Like, I mean, like, I'm not, like, I know y'all want to believe everybody gay and shit like that, but I'm not believing no transgendered individual who's clearly clout chasing. Because if you really was on some shit like that, you wouldn't be trying to, like, if that's what you're into, you wouldn't be trying to embarrass Boss Man D-Lo when, let's say there's, I don't know, let's say 30% of rappers are download, whatever the fuck they are, right? Nobody's going to fuck with you after, right? So nobody's going to, like, everybody's looking at you like, wait, so if there was a rapper who likes transgenders, you're going to expose them. I don't know. I don't really want to talk about this bullshit no more, man. But anyway, man, yo, y'all transgenders, could y'all hold y'all niggas accountable, man? Hold this nigga accountable for, number one, putting y'all in danger, and also pretty much causing more hate and vitriol among straight men. Because straight men, when they see shit like this is why, like, a nigga gonna be like, man, one of them niggas play with me. I gotta really violate. Like, man, like, you can't even be courteous. Some people said, Boss Man down low. Stop playing, bro. Stop playing. All right, anyway. Let's get back to the Diddy case. All right, come on. So they're back. Now, AUSA says we subpoenaed Verizon phone records. Ms. Garagos has agreed that if Your Honor finds them admissible, you could give them to us, and we will give them to them. Garagos says, yes. Judge says, let's get Mia back. So Mia's back. AUSA Smizer says, yo, Mia, you were speaking about violence between Combs and Cassie. Have you traveled ever to Turks and Caicos? She says, yes, to Parrot Key twice in 2012, me, Puff, and Cass. So what happened there? So, well, I was sleeping in my bedroom, then I was woken up. Mia then says Cassie ran in, saying, yo, you got to help me. He going to kill me. AUSA said, what'd you do? Mia says, man, I started pushing furniture in front of the door. I'm trying to block it. Puff was banging, screaming. I had a porch that went out to the beach. We ran. AUSA says, what did you remember about running? I remember being amazed that even while running so fast, we could be attacked by bugs. What? Did you run another time? Yeah. I had another visual on where we were hiding of trying to escape like 2 separate times. It says we got on paddle boards and we went out to the water. Puff was on the beach screaming at us. It was flat. And we went out far. Puff got smaller and smaller on the beach and the sky got dark. Damn. Yo, Diddy be... Yo, why does... Yo, Puff? This is kind of bitch-made behavior because it look like Puff don't be running down no nigga like this. He's running down the chicks. They're over here paddle to Cuba. Like, yo, let's paddle. Cassie, come on. Row. Like, come on, let's go. This nigga Diddy on the beach. Damn. Diddy was always chasing him, too. Fuck. Objections by Steele. It was overruled. Mia said we went back. USA said, did you ever call the cops? Mia says, no. So why not? I believe Puff's authority was above the police. This was before social media and Me Too. There was no examples of people standing up. I thought it was under the confidentiality deal with Puff's business. And so what's this? It says a photo of Cassie eating a hot dog at a premiere of her movie, The Perfect Match. She had bruising under her makeup. I took this photo. AUSA says, any other injuries else that were covered up on the red carpet? Says, yes. At the Cannes Film Festival. What did you see? Well, she had a busted lip. She was injured. Said, where were you? But let me look at it. Cannes Film Festival, Cassie. Sorry, I'm fucked up on the spelling. Cannes Fest. That's Met Gala. That's Met Gala. What's this? Oh, okay. It says Diddy. This is 2012. So okay, so you gotta be talking about this. Diddy and his crew. Okay, so this is Cassie. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it a being with you, bro. Diddy hated this woman, bro. Like, there's something there. Like, it's like I'm still not saying sex trafficking. Yo, to me, Cassie's hella beautiful. She's hella beautiful. Yo, this nigga was having her doing some dumb shit. Yo, shit, like, bro, look at the type of hairstyle he was. Bro, I get it. You could be like, oh, no, that was style. Nah, nigga, you could tell. He's having niggas nut on her, pee on her. Bro, he's doing everything to reduce this woman's self-worth to zero, bro. Like, there's something up with Diddy, my nigga. I ain't gonna cap with you. I ain't gonna cap with you. Somebody said, oh my God, shut the fuck up, Act. He ain't hate her. Nah, bro, he had to hate her, bro. If you take a beautiful woman, start reducing her looks, you're constantly, come on, bro, like, and when I mean hate her, it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. But I think he loved her, but he hated her too. Like, if you don't understand that theory, you don't take a beautiful woman and then reduce her in every way possible. You get rid of her self-esteem. You take her innocence. Well, I'm not saying she was innocent before. I'm just saying, like, I mean, you fucking eradicate whatever that's left of it. You take everything, you reduce her to zero. That's a little bit of hate, my nigga. That's a little bit of hate. Like, you think he was just, oh, I just love you? No. He treated her like it was a rug under his fucking feet. She got shades on. Ooh, we're trying to see the lip. Pause. You know what's so crazy? Cassie's going through hell with this nigga. Diddy would just show up, autograph time. Like, just, he's still in star mode. He don't give a fuck.
Hey, Sean, what's up? Good job.
He don't give.
How you doing? Good.
He don't give a
fuck. Here again. Now we know we're gonna have some action. Some real entertainment.
You're gonna have some action, baby. I ain't gonna let you down.
I know that.
I ain't gonna
What up, boy? How you doing?
I ain't gonna let
So we have VIP tonight?
Yeah.
We have VIP tonight. All drinks on me. All drinks on me.
As usual.
Tiens, tu recules un peu, Fab, donne du champ. Tu prends avec le tien. Tiens. Hop. Merci. All right. Non, mais travaille avec lui. Travaille avec lui. Je travaille avec lui. Vous énervez pas. Tranquille, il est tranquille.
Restez là, je vais chercher.
Ben.
Laisse-le juste faire une photo.
T'inquiète, c'est pas, il est toujours là.
Merci.
Ça va. Ouais. Prends une tour avec lui. Non mais, 2 minutes. Nice going.
Thank you.
Il est là. Bouge-toi, Fabien. Allez, hop.
Weirdo's Cassie.
Got it. Okay, see.
Oh, was that Cassie in the car on that side?
Okay, see. Allez, hop. Bouge-toi, Fabien. Allez, hop. We got it. Okay, see.
I think Cassie's in the car there. That's why he went on the other side. That's interesting. What's this? Diddy while shopping in Cannes.
I won't call you
Holy shit. I forgot how popular this nigga was.
Nothing is fun. I won't call
Wow. Wow. Nah, Diddy was the shit, huh? Diddy and Cassie at, okay, yeah, this looks like it's a video agency for some Paris shit. Or not Paris, I mean Cannes. Ah. Let's see. I thought he'd be with Cassie. No. Oh. Oh, that's her right there. You can't. I ain't gonna lie. That makeup artist was putting in. She was dropping 70. Yo, the makeup artist was dropping 70 for Cassie. Cassie looks good though. You like we never really saw her.
Hello, Pete. Did you enjoy the show?
Yes, very much so.
Just a bit late, but you see most of it.
Better late than never.
Yeah.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
No, we gotta. No,
Just one big up for your TV channel, man. I hope it's gonna work. Hey, Kat, how you doing?
Hi, how are you?
How was the show?
It was beautiful.
Beautiful?
I loved it.
All right. Okay, bye-bye.
No, it's just...
Yeah, I want to watch their like how they react to each other.
go first.
You know that's.
Oh, you go first. Okay.
Let me get.
Yeah, I could tell she felt so small in his world. Nobody give a fuck about Cassie. Like, I'm gonna be honest. She felt small in his world. And she was probably trying to fit in, but she wanted to please this guy a lot. I'm still not saying, okay, that means she's sex trafficked, you know what I mean? She's still a grown ass woman. But I was just trying to watch her in between ass whippings, right? Like, damn. Is she still kind of emotionally coming off of this type shit? Or no?
Thank you.
This way! How's your life so far? Is it good? Yeah. Wow. So what's the feeling? You enjoy your new life?
What's this?
Left. To your left.
Is that Alicia Keys?
My God. Excuse me.
Yay.
Hey, this way for the fans. What's up, Diddy? Sean, you're the man. How are you, Sean? Sean, you got the Diddy this way. Right on. No, man. Hey, son, this way! Son, this way!
Yo, look at Diddy. Such a star. Look at that look. Look at that look. Such a fucking star. Why does nigga look like Shine back here?
Hey, son, this way! Son, this way! Oh yeah, get on top, man! Do it again! This way! Do you need footage for your media channel? For the network? No, Diddy, we rapping it this way!
Where the fuck is Cassie at?
You gonna shoot for life?
Where the hell's Cassie? Try to skip through it, see if I can find Cassie. Shit, nigga, they don't even. Why does nigga look like Shine so much? Nigga, I ain't gonna cap with you, Chad. Nigga, they put Cassie's name in the title. They don't even have her in the video, bro. Nigga, ain't it Shine? Okay.
Oh, you don't. Come on, you got it.
Yeah. All right, before we get into tweets, I see what y'all trying to tell me to check. Shout out to Offset. Offset said, fuck all that Bodak yellow shit, man. I'm only interested in Bodak green. I need some bread. Offset is asking for spousal support in his divorce with Cardi B. He says he's not willing to give up the bad and bougie lifestyle. He's asking for the court to ensure his estranged wife, Cardi B, helps him maintain it. The rapper filed an amended divorce response earlier this month in which he's now asking that Cardi pay him spousal support. He doesn't request how much money he wants in the document, but the rest of the requests look relatively unchanged because he's still asking for joint custody, and he wants Cardi's place to serve at the primary residence for the kids. It's the first news from the divorce proceedings in months, with whole process dragging since Cardi first filed in 2024 of August. At this time, Cardi blasted reports that Offset didn't support her kids, ripping critics who labeled him as a deadbeat. However, the two certainly had more than their fair share of fights on social media. Okay, cool. Now, I'm gonna keep it a bean, chat. You know, I've spoken to Offset not about this. From my understanding, I think this is a leveraging move. I think this is a move because Cardi makes so much money. I don't think Offset actually wants spousal support. I think he's requesting it that she could not fight him on other shit. Because if she fights him on other shit, she might gotta give him spousal support. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know. I believe that's what it is. Now, to be honest and to be fair, and I'm talking to both people, not necessarily about this. The details of their divorce or child support or whatever the case is, I don't really know that, know it all too in and out. I would imagine we haven't seen them. Cardi B tells us everything. She loves us in a group chat. She hasn't told us this nigga is broke and needs my money. Right? She hasn't told us that, right? So I think this is a leveraging move. Because if y'all want me to believe that Offset is broke, I'm not going for it. I'm not going for it. If y'all want me to believe Offset is broke, I'm not going for it. Now, I know some of y'all are probably thinking of the little TJ shit and this, that, and third. Also, I think the timing of all these things are like, they're very... We just seen Cardi B in a boat. Yo, let's get this divorce. Hurry up, man. Let's hurry up with this divorce shit, okay? I think Offset wants to get out of this marriage. Offset and his lawyers are putting shit in there that they could agree on other things. Like, yo, listen, I was not coming for the money first. But now I'm going to say I want some bread, and I would be entitled to it, so just give me these other things I asked. Right? I'd be surprised if Offset got spousal support from Cardi. I don't think that's his intention, but I think it's a bargaining and leverage tool for this idea of dissolving this marriage. Okay? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Let me go back to some of these rants. Cardi B rants about Offset.
To make yourself feel better, because I make you feel so low about yourself, because I don't make you feel like you're that nigga in this home. So that's what you gotta do. So you out here trying to hurt my feelings because you can the next. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Because them hoes ain't good enough that I be having you crashing out all weekend. You was mad happy today when I can call you today. And the only reason why I called you today is because I'm trying to change my son's school and I need your approval. Other than that, nigga, fuck you. I don't care. The world, my ops. I'm with your ops. That's one for your ops. Yeah, of course, because you don't move with integrity. You're not a street nigga. That's what you do. That's what you do. Oh, I'm gonna go for your ops. Boo hoo, nigga.
I talked to Cardi about this. I said, Cardi, you can't. I don't like when y'all women do that too. When you was fucking with Offset, you kept telling other niggas, I'm gonna get my nigga to handle you because he a street nigga. Now you don't fuck with me, not street nigga. You can't do that. I don't like that.
I don't give a fuck. You can fuck my ops, you fuck my friends, nigga. I don't give a shit. You're a lame to me, and you will never equate to me. And it's crazy that I even let you even play with me for such a long time, because you're not even a real right nigga for me. I make you look good, nigga. Fuck you. Damn. Look at the bitch I'm fucking. Fuck you. I don't care. Look at them. I'm gonna fuck your ups. I'm gonna fuck. Matter of fact, look at this. I don't want to see it. So what? You was gonna fuck him anyways, nigga. All you gotta do is get drunk, and I'm gonna throw you that pussy for $2,000. You gotta survive out here. Bitches gotta survive out here, nigga. Now I'm up them bitches. Now I'm up bitches. Okay, you could do that. You was gonna do it regardless. You go to a club and you probably get drunk. You give them bitches 2,000. You was gonna do them regardless. Them hoes gotta survive. These hoes is hungry out here. We in a recession, baby. Them hoes gotta get paid. Do that. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, I'm a watch what I'm gonna do to you. Watch what I'm a this, that, blah, blah, blah. You already done it all. You already done it all. You already done it all. You done it all. You done it all. You done it all. Nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing surprises me. You done it all. So I don't care. I don't.
Okay.
I'm too good for you, nigga. And I don't ever, I never even wanted to get on this social media because I don't want to.
Yeah, they've been beefing real bad. They've been beefing real bad. Has she said anything in the last month? Yeah, I don't see nothing about broke. She did say he didn't buy Christmas gifts, but nah, he got bread. Now, I did hear that Offset got a nasty gambling habit.
See, you gamble to pay your rent. We gamble for fun. So when we lose, we laugh about it. We wake up the next morning, pull out an M. Oh, we're back at it. Back at it.
I wish we could do that.
See, you gamble to pay your rent. We gamble for fun. So when we lose, we laugh about it. We wake up the next morning.
Nah, shout out to Offset, man.
Why this Offset? Offset broke. Nigga, fuck. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all the stream too. That nigga broke. That nigga pop. I'll tell y'all a true story. Nigga, I ain't got nothing to do with that shit. Nigga in the casino, he was pop. He was panicking. Nigga, he was asking random people for cash apps. He was broke.
Yo, New York niggas are so funny with their lingo. Yeah, he was popped. He was panicking. Word of my mother be like, yo, nigga was broke, pop, panicking.
I don't know what happened. Nobody was answering his phone call. He popped, trying to run up, chasing. Must got a gambling addiction. And the nigga says, and the nigga says, yo, he just popped. He calling niggas for cash apps in front of me. I ain't gonna lie to you. The first 5 I offered, I'm like, yo, you pop. You waiting for some bread? Nigga wait for my money.
Yo, you popped?
I swung that nigga 5. You know how I get. He gets popped. Not us two dicing each other. He gets popped straight to the casino. Goes not. He get another loan from somebody else for like 2 bands. I don't even take my loan. I'm like, that's Offset. I'm good on my money. Why this Offset? Offset broke.
Oh, man. I think he then explained it later.
Well, an off.
Asking random people.
You got with her.
Your mama robbed me. Yeah, you and your mom robbed me.
What the fuck?
And what y'all think?
I ain't listen after you and your mama robbed me. Yeah, you and your mom robbed me. Cold. Wipe my nose.
By the way, do you guys know that my kids didn't receive no Christmas gifts from somebody in particular? Mother want to make it seem on social media like I was keeping my kids away from them, like to make movies on social media, but purposely fly to New York to buy their kids gifts. And guess how many gifts did they buy my kids? Zero. Where the Christmas gifts at? And you know what? I already know why. I already know. I didn't want her to do this because this is what I want. Want me to go on social media to crash out so I could look crazy so that they could look like they don't bother. That was always their plan. That's why I've been quiet. But you're gonna stop playing with me, and you're gonna sign these divorce papers, bitch ass, and stop using my kids for an excuse. So that means that a mother was competing with me. Can you believe that? Can you believe that I had the enemy in my bed all along?
Wait, what?
I wasn't only competing with these. I was competing with my, and I didn't even know. That's crazy. That's crazy. After I crashed out yesterday, and yes, I crashed out, and I don't give a, and I don't care if some and people call me a crash out, because you know what? That's just how I am.
What does she mean? Offset robbed her for 10 million. What the hell? Offset Cardi 10 million. Oh look.
Time like me personally, I'm the king of my household. Like so, I don't care. I got to go get it. I got 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
I got an expensive wife. I done spent 10 million on my wife. And like.
But she spent a lot of money on you too. Let's
yeah, that's my baby. That's my baby. She spent a lot of money on me, but I didn't spend the 10 million on my wife. Like I didn't synced it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't spent 10 million on my wife. So like,
you got that house in DR.
And I'm also.
I like those moves.
And I'm also from the South. Like I come from the man running the household, and the man, and that's what I do with my household. So for me to be the leader of the house, I gotta tighten up. Time like.
We're going that way. Oh, you.
Put out a song. I'm telling you, a lot of y'all be thinking that, look, fuck out of here. I was talking about you gonna pop out with a bitch. Pop out with a bitch. I don't give a fuck. Stupid ass bitch. Yeah, you wait till I sleep to talk shit, huh? Fucking hate this nigga. Let's go to war then. Let's go to war for real. If that's what you want to do. Let's go to war for real. So I could fucking end up ruining your whole fucking career for real. Stop playing with me. I don't give a fuck. Fucking loser.
That's interesting. They're like beefing in blood, like Bloods and Crips. Yo, you know they're gonna end up fucking again, right?
Narrative like I want to be with you. You know I don't want to be with you. Stop that narrative like it's like, oh yeah, bitch, it was a one night of fun. Because my other nigga was acting the fuck up. Why are you trying to make it, pushing it to people like I'm trying to be a family with you? You know that's not what it is. So stop. Nigga, I gave you some out of spite time. Out of spite time. So stop trying to make it seem like, oh, your fans is this. No, bitch, what is it that you don't get? You only got time out of me because I was pissed at another nigga. Now you really getting me tight because you're trying to push the narrative like we like that, and we not like that. So stop, because I told you I'm going to really bomb you. Stop trying to push this narrative, because it's not the fans. I don't want to be with you, and you know that shit. So stop it. Let's cut it before I really go there. I told you, let's cut it. You've been trying me, bitch. The fuck? Stop. I'm sleeping and you trying me. Happy as fuck. Happy as fuck that I gave you attention for 1 day. And now you're trying to spin a narrative like I want to be with you. Knowing that that's not it. Gave you some out of sight time because another nigga pissed me the fuck off.
Wow. This is crazy.
Filled when Cardi jumped on Twitter.
Ruin my year and have me f***ed up like they had me f***ed up last year. But I'm so strong. I'm so strong and it doesn't affect me anymore that even after you try to ruin me by being spiteful towards me and my kids, I still got my ass up and went to work. Your little games that you do for spite, that shit doesn't bother me no more. What hurts me though is when motherfuckers trying to be spiteful towards my kids. That should really be pissing me the fuck off. And then to piss me off and then play in my face and then play in my kid's face. You want to talk about, oh, you haven't accepted the divorce because you're not going to agree on my terms because you just want to see the kids. You want to see the kids. You just call your daughter for the first time this year, yesterday, your newborn. You love your kids so much and you bought them shit for Christmas. But you came to New York to buy your other kids gifts. But you ain't bought my kids on purpose to spite me. Mind you, we was cool.
Yo, chat, I'm going to tell y'all this, man. I don't care what y'all keep hearing about Cardi and Offset. Don't pick no side. In 3 years, when they're madly in love, fucking up a storm, they got 3 more kids, and now it's a family of 8. Let's just stay out the group chat. Trust. Don't pick no side here. None. Cardi, drop your album, and Offset, I can't wait for yours too. Don't pick no side, chat. Trust. Just like Bad Baby and her baby daddy. You know they gonna get back together. Remember when Bad Baby was like, yeah, he beat my ass. This nigga's a bum. He only like bitches that blah, blah. She's like, oh my God, I'm so glad I never left him.
It wasn't, but we was cool.
But wait, it gets even messier. What really got Cardi fired up was how Offset made sure to buy presents for his other kids with his other baby mamas. Like, how spiteful can you be? But honey, Cardi wasn't done airing out all the dirty laundry. She dropped an absolute bombshell when she exposed both Offset and his mother for stealing from her. And we're not talking about a few dollars here and there. According to Cardi, they completely robbed her blind, took her for a fool, and wiped her out.
I ain't listen after you and your mama robbed me. Yeah, you and your mom robbed me cold. Wipe my nose. So you stop playing with me. Ask a mother. What's today's date? Today's the 14th. Ask mother where the Christmas gifts at. Where the Christmas kids at? Where the Christmas gifts at? And you know what? I already know why I already know I didn't want her to do this because this is what a mother wants. A mother want me to go on social media to crash out so I could look crazy so that they could look like they don't bother. That was always their plan. That's why I've been quiet. But you're gonna stop playing with me and you're gonna sign these divorce papers. And stop using my kids for an excuse.
Now, while Cardi didn't put an exact number on how much they took from her, YouTuber Storm Monroe spilled some serious tea, suggesting the amount was somewhere between $5 million and $10 million. I mean, can we just take a moment to process that? That's absolutely wild.
Cardi B is aware of between $5 to $10 million missing.
Listen, yo, Cardi, man. Yo, Cardi. Welcome to, you see, when women start experiencing shit that men experience all the time, yeah, yo, you got money too. Just like his money's your money is money. What you mean? Your money is Offset money. The thing with women, your money is their money, and their money is their money. Okay? By the way, look at this nigga Offset. My boy Offset over here. You know, I didn't talk to him. Offset said, man, listen, I'm only worried about the album. He said, if y'all gonna get any answers to anything, he said, y'all gonna get it through the music. Look at this nigga. He just, look at this nigga.
Yeah. You're an outside nigga, man. You know what I mean? Stand up, nigga. You know?
Offset is finally free. Look at this nigga. Offset could finally video himself with the bitches he been fucking. Look at this nigga. Having the time of his life. Look at the flavors he got going on. Look at this boy. Oh, nah. Apparently he been in DR making an album.
And what is a 6 figure? I'm saying.
Okay. Oh, shit. It's so unfair for men. Because I ain't gonna lie, these chicks look bad. But when you're dating Cardi B, nobody cares. But still, Offset doing his thing. Oh, shit. Wait, I know that bitch. I know her. Oh, my God, I know her. All right, let me not make it hot. Let me not make it hot. Yo, you know what's so funny? It's literally like the same girls, like with every celebrity. I know her. Oh, shit. Anybody know who that was? Y'all told me to go check out the Offset shit. Let me see if... Now, I don't know her personally. Y'all know her too. I'm just not trying to make it hot. I feel like if I say it, I'm gonna make it hot. Unless I'm wrong. I think she is I'm mad messy right now. I'm so messy. Oh, wait. Oh, my bad. I'm so messy. I think it's Shorty here. Or what's she wearing here? I gotta see if I can find it. That's her right here, I think. Remember Shorty back in the day with Kai? And she was like, one of Kai friends did some. That's Shorty. I think this is. I think this is her. I think I follow her, nigga. Nigga, she on vacation. Nigga, she permanently on vacation. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, that's her, right? Look, face. That's her. Oh, my bad. I'm a snitch. Fuck. Shit, I'm a snitch. I'm a snitch. All right, Offset, just make sure. Video everything. Video everything. Do I know this one too? Holy. This nigga Offset living, bro. Okay. Yo, chat, don't you wish you were a bad bitch that could just be on vacation for life?
I want y'all to hear that again. The money that she got robbed for is allegedly, and Cardi, this is what you're aware of between $5 to $10 million.
And who is this nigga, bro?
From a few weeks ago showed just how messy this situation really is. Offset was literally begging Cardi to keep their baby, writing, "Yo, keep my child. Why do you think you a lick for me, like for real, like me saying that was wrong, that's my baby? Like I sound desperate for what and who you..."
Why do you think you a lick for me? Like me, huh?
No, before you continue getting effed might not be mine anyways, cause I ain't effed you and you wasn't prio when I was around? Can you believe he had the nerve to question if the baby was even his? Well, Cardi wasn't about to let that slide. She clapped back with, LOL, you don't got to answer the phone, just wanted to show why I don't F with you, everyone knows about you, and everyone knows that's your girlfriend. And on top of that, you couldn't stand up like a man for culture to shire and your mom robbed me cold. It's clear Cardi's been holding on to these receipts for a while, and something tells me she's got plenty more evidence to back up her claims about what Offset and his mother did to her. Now let's talk about how Offset's family has been throwing shade at Cardi for years, trying to make her look crazy. White photo on Instagram with the most passive-aggressive caption ever, basically implying people were mooching off him. The caption read, "Oh, we'll live with you, Edoff, you help his family and still be hating inside cause they ain't pop on their own be the blaming the world for his fups, sucker." Now here's what makes this even more interesting. Around the same time Offset was posting these shady messages, he was actually dealing with his own financial mess. Multiple media outlets reported that he got hit with not one, but two separate tax liens totaling $1.6 million. According to The Sun, the first lien in April was nearly $1.6 million, and then they slapped him with another one in June for about $32,000. And let me tell you, a court clerk confirmed that debt is still sitting there unpaid and Cardi's name isn't anywhere on it. The Sun didn't stop there. They came out with another article suggesting both Cardi and Offset were broke and struggling with their home payments. They claim Cardi had to come up with $3 million in just 2 months to keep their luxury Atlanta mansion. The records showed they'd taken out huge mortgages on both their Atlanta and New Jersey.
They ain't broke. Or Cardi definitely not broke. Offset not broke either. But they might spend a lot. I ain't gonna hold you.
Jersey homes, talking about $1 million in loans over 5 years. One loan for $3 million just got approved last October. But get this, it's only good for 1 year and needs to be paid back by October 4th, 2024. But honey, Cardi wasn't about to let anyone think she was struggling. She hopped on Twitter and shut that down real quick. She tweeted, "First of all, The Sun is posting rumors that y'all are making up and sending blind items about. That's why it's no documents, just word of mouth. Everybody gets a loan to buy a house and I never been behind on any of them. I bought my house in 2021 and I put almost $12 million in it. Now look how much I got left. I'm very responsible with money. My bills come before luxury, and I just spent $400,000 on jewelry this month because I also still know how to budget. Stop playing with me." And when people started saying she had to sell her house because she couldn't afford it, baby, she had something to say about that too. She fired back, "LMAO, you bumbies wish me and Offset bought that house in 2019 for $5 million. Now it's worth $7 million. Check the Atlanta market, and no, we not selling it. And if I ever sold it, I would just sell my part to Offset since he loves Atlanta, throwing salt on my home hating bad." The next day, Cardi really rubbed it in by posting a video of her mansion, showing off this gorgeous bedroom and balcony with the caption, "Good morning, go get the money."
Morning. Good morning for my second home. It's 5:56 in the morning, about to be 6 a.m. Yeah.
Wait, does anybody actually even believe Cardi would be broke? Like, Cardi B not Nicki Minaj rich. Like, it's like hearing that, but she's close. Not close necessarily to Nicki, but we're talking about people that's up. Like, these houses cost $6 million. With all due respect. These motherfuckers done made $200, $300 million. Like, you gotta really be blowing money to not. Now, granted, I know there's expenses with everything, right? The more expensive shit you have, the more expenses. But nah, like when people hear broke, it's like you don't have no money. No, these people are very lucrative.
Go get the money. Hey, listen. Go get the money, okay? If I want it, I'ma get it right now. Go get the money.
But here's what's really telling. Did you notice how Cardi didn't say a word about Offset's financial situation? She just made it crystal clear that she wasn't broke, regardless of what was going on with him. And let's be real, everyone's always known Cardi was the one with the bigger bank account in this relationship. While she's been smart with her money, investing and saving, Offset's been living that lavish lifestyle.
So Offset broke. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all the stream too. That broke. That pop. I'll tell y'all a true story. I ain't got nothing to do with that shit nigga in the casino. He was popped. He was panicking. He was asking random people for cash apps. He was broke. I don't know what happened. Nobody was answering his phone call. He popped, trying to run up, chasing. Must got a gambling addiction. And then says, yo, he just popped. He calling for cash apps in front of me. I ain't gonna lie to you. The first 5 I opened, I'm like, yo, you pop. You waiting for some bread? He like, I waiting for my money. I swung that 5. You know how I get. He gets popped. Not us two dicing each other. He gets popped straight to the casino. goes not. He get another loan from somebody else for like 2 bands. I don't even take my loan. I'm like, that's Offset. I'm good on my money. I'm worried about this. I got mad, bread. I definitely run off for 5 bands. Out of that, he pops for the next.
Recent blind items have been spilling even more tea about Offset's gambling problem, leaving him broke and desperate. One blind item dropped this bombshell. This former A-list rapper has cut off her estranged husband from all bank accounts. He has zero access to any money. And we all know they're talking about Cardi B and Offset. Listen, if Cardi really did cut Offset off from her accounts, good for her. Because having your husband, the father of your children, steal millions from you, that's beyond wild. But what do you think? Did Offset really steal from Cardi? Was she right to put all this business out there? Drop your thoughts in the comments and stick around for this next very messy video.
Blame yourselves for that. Y'all said, go look at TMZ. Why the hell was it worth us going look at TMZ for this? When women all the time ask for spousal support, child support. Yeah, if I'm Offset, I'm going to use whatever leverage because you have a big bank account. I'm not going to just let, I got to be. This is why Tory's in jail. And I know, you'll be like, what the fuck this got to do with Tory? When we hold certain people to a certain standard and certain other people to not, think about it. If Tory had came out and said to investigators, so what happened? Yo, I stopped Kelsey from shooting Meg. Yeah, like she started shooting at her. I rushed her. I grabbed her and I knocked the gun out of her hand. No charges. Tory thinking he a street nigga. I ain't gonna say nothing. You know what Kelsey did? Did 3 interviews with the prosecutors. Took the stand on his ass, including Meg. That's why the nigga's in jail. So listen, y'all stop with that bullshit. The same way when women want child support and spousal support is not really big news. Don't get mad if Offset want to do it too. It's called leveraging the situation. Get over it. And if maybe we didn't have these different standards for men and women, because all y'all claim y'all love this equality shit, this wouldn't be a non-issue. Okay? So, which by the way, Tory should have just told on Kelsey from the get-go, right? Yo, chat, let me tell you this. I tell dudes, your girl start acting up and she started doing too much, call the cops on her. Please do. You got to call the cops on her. Because here's the thing. If you get physical, you're done. She could beat the brakes off of you. Ain't nothing going to happen. But at least she gets to cool out for maybe one night in jail. That's it. You got to call the cops on your girl. Okay? There's no societal or social consequences for women doing things to men. There's severe consequences for men doing things to women. All right, man. To get through that, I had to start drinking a little bit, man. I'm starting to feel it. All right. We are back. I don't know why we cut it off at the Cannes Film Festival, but I know why. Because we were looking at some videos of Diddy and this and third. Cool. Okay, so apparently she had a busted lip. She was injured. AUSA says, where were you? I was in a hotel room with Larry Sims. That was her hairstylist. AUSA says, how did you learn about how she got the injuries? Said Cass had an audio recording of Puff attacking her. Chat, what do you think? What do you think about women who don't go to the cops but keep evidence that they're being abused? And they tolerate it for, let's say, days, weeks, years, until they're cut the fuck off. Now, they claim, if you're gonna be recording it that he's beating you up, why would you? Anyway, let me just keep going. How did Cassie sound on the audio recording? Steele says objection, overruled. She sounded panicked. I heard the sound of somebody getting hit. Did you go to events? Yeah, the premiere of Brad Pitt's movie Kill Him Softly. AOSA says, what happened to the premiere? Puff was digging his nails into her arm and taking low. What? And talking low. Said, what would Combs ask you to do? He said, take care of her. I'm going to bring her arnica gel. For what? Her bruises. What the fuck is arnica gel? Let's turn to December 22nd, 2011. Mia said, by the way, I hate the prosecutor does this. They never operate sequentially. They're all over. They're jumping all over the place. Whatever. At Puff's house, the mood was darker than normal. This was more of like Puff was upset. AUSA says, what did you tell him? Told him that Cassie's been talking to someone else. Oh, so she's admitting she ratted out. Her friend, Cassie. He says, no, she didn't. She never mind. What did he tell him? Who was there? So we don't know who's there. He says, what did he tell him? That Cass had been talking to someone else. Who? Kid Cudi. So some guy told her that. How was he? He seemed heartbroken. It was obvious. I never witnessed Cass do something to cause him to be upset. I felt something bad would happen. Then did you see her? It's like, yeah, in a black car with Capricorn Clark. Did you reach out to anyone? Mia says, yes, to D-Rock. 3T112. What's this? So that's my emails with D-Rock. Says only the redacted one into evidence. Steele says same objection. AUSA then continues by saying he was security. Judge says with foundation, admitted. AUSA says read the messages. Mia says I wrote to D-Rock. I'm worried about Diddy. This feels different. Hit this email when you get it. Love you. AUSA says were you romantically involved with D-Rock? Mia says definitely not. That's just how we talked. AUSA says, let's talk about the hotel nights. What was your role? I would sometimes take him up there, unpack, set up. I would just kind of like be on call essentially and clean up before housekeeping. What did you bring? I brought his lotions and potions. Mia says, I brought Astroglide and candles, some of them cheap Glade candles without the label on it. They had to be white. What else would you bring to the hotel? Anything he forgot at the house. Food, money. How much money? A lot, like thousands of dollars. AUSA says, do you remember seeing Cassie? I say, yeah, at the London Hotel in New York. I brought something to the room. Cass opened the door. She was wearing a bright blue wig. Ooh, so it looked like it was clearly she was about to do a freak off. Remember, she used to put on wigs and sometimes even that, whatever little covering of the face sometimes. How did she appear? Like she was struggling. I asked, are you good? And she closed the door. AUSA says, how did you clean the rooms? Who told you to clean the rooms? Puff and the office. It was standard to sweep the room so no housekeeper could sell something to TMZ. How were the rooms? It was always destroyed. Candle wax everywhere. I seen broken glass, sometimes blood, and oil was on the walls. AUSA says, what would Combs tell you about the blood? He would say it was period blood. What happened in Cassie's car in LA? Cassie got a call and told me he wants to do a hotel night, and I don't want to. She got sick. AUSA says, after the hotel night? Mia says, man down. What does that mean? AUSA says, what does that mean? They'd stay in the hotel sleeping, only up to eat. AUSA says, did you do drugs before you worked for Combs? No. And after? She says, yes. MDMA. Puff gave him to me. He said that I was now part of the Breakfast Club. AUSA says, what did he mean? Meaning the cool club. He said MDMA was pure. I felt like I was now a friend hanging out and I could enjoy myself. Did you ever take ketamine? Yeah, I took some ketamine in Burning Man. We were partying on a tour bus. We had the blacked out shades down. Says he had drugs on plates. I tried to say no. Huh? What happened? Said Puff wouldn't let it go. It turned a little more serious that I was going to mess up the whole vibe. I tried to fake take it, but he got close to my face and humiliated me. How? He separated out a dose and made me snort it. I didn't want to fall into the K-hole. K-hole. I seen a person do it. Looked like exorcism. AUSA says, did you want to take ketamine? Says, I didn't feel I had a choice. AUSA says, did he take drugs while working? Mia says, yeah, he was always working. Once on the way to Chelsea Handler. AUSA says, how did Mr. Combs treat you? Says, sometimes like the best friend and a working partner, and sometimes I was a worthless piece of crap. How would he ever compliment you? Mia says he would compliment my work. He would give me life advice. AUSA says, and to tell you were worthless? Mia says, it was long extended rants about how incompetent and stupid I was, and he would threaten my job. Anything physical? Mia says, he would throw things at me. AUSA says, did he talk about jobs for you? She says, yes. Before Revolt Films, he talked about other companies. I told him I wanted to create and develop TV shows, especially comedy. He said that's what he wanted to do too. Then he'd take away my credits. So what did he throw at you? He threw a bowl of spaghetti at me, turkey meat, a computer, a phone. Let's talk about spaghetti. What did he tell you to do? No, what? He told me to get people, but I need to change my tampon. He yelled, "Yo, girl, I said do it now." Mia says, blood was dripping down my leg. I said, I have to go change my tampon. What did Combs do? He threw a bowl of spaghetti at me and said, get the fuck out of my house. He chased me out. I was barefoot. I hid in the bush, and I went to a hotel. AUSA says, what did HR tell you? That I was going to be suspended without pay. That's what Puff wanted. Said, where were you when he threw a computer at you? I was in a trailer. Swiss Beats was there. The Wi-Fi was broken, and I went to look at it. Mia then says, I came back. They were working on it. What did Mr. Combs do? He said I should talk to Bill Gates if I had to. Then he... I hate to be laughing at this, but apparently Diddy's so mad at her. He said, yo, fix this shit now. She's like, I'm trying. I'm going to get somebody to come to fix it. Then it's still not working. And I guess the computer might be acting up too. He's like, bitch, you better go get Bill Gates up in this bitch, okay? He says I should talk to Bill Gates if I had to. Then he threw the computer at my head hard. It just missed. I ran behind the luggage van. He says, how did you feel? He says, I wondered, what did I do to make him like this to me? I said, did he hurt you? He says, yes, Turks and Caicos at the Revolt offices. Where were you at Turks? He says, a hammock by my room. Puff dumped a bucket of ice on me, screaming. Puff then took my phone. I didn't want him to see it. The team, we'd message about his moods. So it looked like they were talking shit about Diddy. I don't know if Diddy found out, but he grabbed her phone. Remember, all these phones are paid for by Bad Boy. He says, I didn't want him to see it, so I jumped on his back. What did he do? He threw me in the pool. Said, and at Revolt TV, he was using my phone, and I didn't want him to see my message. Maybe I called him an asshole or something. I tried to get my phone back, and he ran into the bathroom and slammed the door on my arm repeatedly. Any injuries? Yeah, I had a bunch of bruises. Did you see him later? Yeah, at the studio. He told me he sent all my compromising photos to him in my phone, and in case I had stuff on him, kind of like a bullying joke. How did you take it? I had no photos, so I knew he was lying. AUSA says, what are these? He said, these are my emails with Tony and Shannon. I said, Puffy took my iPhone. I don't know, and I'll get it back. Tony asked what happened. I said, definitely an in-person story. AUSA, why did you say that? He said, I wouldn't put violence in writing. AUSA says, who's Matt? He said, I was Puff's engineer. At one point, we dated. AUSA says, we have more. They break for a bit. They come back. They're back. So the sexual assaults, when did they occur? Says, okay, this is going to get interesting now, chat. Because she's been saying she's been helping Diddy deal with Cassie. Diddy and Cassie are fucking. They're dating. Now she's saying Diddy is fucking her. I keep telling y'all, I think all these assistants and everybody, Diddy's fucking. So where were the first time? It's at the Plaza Hotel in New York for Puff, 40th birthday. So were you his personal assistant? So yes, I've been there for a few months. What rooms did Combs rent out? He rented out the penthouse. Party guests and celebrities were there. So what did Mr. Combs do? He asked to speak to me in the kitchen. What did he do? He had everyone else clear the room. What did he say? That we're gonna be working closer together. He poured us 2 shots of vodka, each for his birthday. What did you do with the shots? I took them. They hit me hard. Usually I could take them easily. My eyes couldn't focus. My face was closed. He put his arm around the side of my dress and kissed me. Did you want him to? No. Were you able to say no? I was shocked. I froze. I didn't process what was happening. Next thing, it was in the morning, and I was in a chair in a penthouse. How had you looked at him? Like an older adult, like he was a boss or a king. What were your expectations? I thought it would never happen again. A huge accident. Were there other times that it made you feel uncomfortable sexually? Yes. I had to carry bags to his room. Downstairs was Uncle Paulie. What did he say to you? Steele says objection. Judge says grounds. Steele says hearsay. AUSA says for the effect. Overruled. I brought the bags. He asked me to pull up something on his computer. He came and sat next to me, leaned over, asked to put his face to the computer in like an uncomfortable way. How did you feel? Mia says, I pretended I had to go to the bathroom. AUSA says, where were you the next time Mr. Combs sexually assaulted you? She says the Beverly Grove house. I was asleep on the bottom bunk. I wasn't allowed to lock the door. I woke up. There was weight of a person on me. AUSA says, who? Mia says, Puff. It was so fast. He had to use one hand to get his pants undone. He put himself inside of me. Oh, shit. AUSA says, you mean he put his penis inside of you? Mia says, I just froze. How did you feel? Mia says, terrified and confused, but also ashamed and scared. AUSA says, how long? Mia says, it was very quick. Mia says, but it still felt like forever. But he wouldn't leave a job unfinished. Is that when it would end? Mia says, yes. They're basically saying he ejaculated, right? AUSA says, what about the next time? It was the Beverly Crest house. I was on his bedroom closet floor putting the things in a bag. Then Puff was in the closet. Oh, shit. AUSA says he had his penis out and he grabbed my head. And she's now crying. Holy shit. And so Diddy had his dick out, grabs her fucking head, and he's like, he put his dick, you could imagine, put it in her mouth. So AUSA says, Mr. Combs pulled out his penis and put it in your mouth? She says, yes, I was frozen. I didn't do anything. And she's crying. She's in full tears now. How did you feel? Like I was trash, scared and ashamed. AUSA says, how long did it last? It was very fast. AUSA says, what about the other sexual assaults? Yeah, I've had a dark feeling. One time we were flying on a private jet. Everyone was asleep. By the bathroom, there was a bed. I went by, and he was standing right there. I try to make it about other people who might see or hear. Oh, somebody. So I guess she was like, oh, somebody might see, somebody might hear. Chill, chill, chill. It didn't work. Now, on cross, you know what they're going to say, right? Did you ever tell him no? Right? Because saying, oh, no, let's not do it right now. Somebody might hear. A jury might interpret it as that, okay, seems like you're complicit. You're not necessarily saying no. Did you say, no, Sean, I don't want to do this, right? So how did you feel? Helpless. I had lost some layer of protection. I wasn't safe, terrified. So do you remember what happened? She said no. Oh, my God. So this is definitely a victim. I would guess that Mia is Jane Doe. If you ask me. If you ask me. All right, chat. We have about 30 more minutes. Holy crap. Holy crap. It's happening. Yeah, the trial coverage has gotten a lot thinner. Some of the journalists that were there the first week, they're not covering every single detail because, Cassie's already left. Kid Cudi's already left, unless there's going to be a celebrity that shows up. They're not that obviously it's more than any other case. It's still more than any other case, but we don't know. Someone sent me something. Hold on, give me a second. So the person on the stand, Mia, we now know who it is. And they're saying, so her name's Sarah Schnedeker. Sarah Schnedeker, okay? Apparently she was in, let me see what this is. Ross Fit with Rick Ross. She was in a Funny or Die skit.
What's good, ladies and gentlemen? You know who it is. I've been getting a lot of questions. Rose, how you lose all that weight? Well, really, the answer's simple as hell. I follow a strict daily workout routine. And
Which one's her?
now you can too. Right here with Ross Fit.
Or is this her?
Step 1, let's get those neck muscles flexing by wearing the thickest chains like a hood billionaire would.
I think that might be her right there. Chat, which one's her? They're saying she's in this. Let me see.
Muscles flexing by wearing the thickest chains like a hood billionaire would. Step 2, you really want to work your face muscles by smoking on M-Cigs or rolling 20 blunts a day. Oh man, I love my fitness, you heard me? Step 3, it's time for a wing break. Only lemon pepper, baby. Your cereal break. Look, not even brute.
Okay, is there any like credits for the actors in here? No. And apparently the Can't Stop, Won't Stop a Bad Boy story. She was a executive producer. Cinematography by producers Kim Porter and Sarah Snedeker. I think it's her, y'all. It's not even think. We know it at this point. You can hate me now. All right. Back with the tweets. AUSA says, was Cassie ever there? Okay. I guess, so they're asking her, was Cassie ever there when he raped you? She said no. Did you ever want these sexual acts with Combs? She said no. Did you ever tell him no? Which, you know, the defense is going to ask. She said, I couldn't tell him no about a sandwich or anything. Then he would know I would thought what he was doing was wrong. So she said that she felt she was in a mind state or whatever. She couldn't tell him no about anything. Mia says, I didn't want to lose everything I work hard for. This was the only world I had anymore. It says, what would happen to your job? I would never work in the industry again. And AUSA says, I'm surprised there was an objection here. AUSA says, and physically, he says, I felt like I was going to be attacked. I didn't want to die. This is hard hitting right now. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a powerful testimony, and it's working in the way of the prosecutor. This is powerful. If you ask me, it's probably the most powerful testimony other than Cassie. This is a powerful testimony. She's not just party to other things. She's saying she went through similar things to Cassie, just maybe not in the capacity or as long as Cassie. Wow. Mia says he'd threatened that he would tell Cassie I had something to do with it. AUSA says, how do you feel? Mia says, I felt desperate and trapped. It was the worst, scariest situation. I would have done anything. I thought it was my fault. Did you tell anyone? She says, no, I was going to die with this. He threatened that he would tell Cassie I had something to do with it. Something to do with what? So look like maybe Diddy was like kind of like threatening her, like, yo, I'm gonna expose you to Cassie. I'm gonna tell Cassie you've been trying to fuck me. I don't know. Interesting. Look at this person. I wonder who this is. Nigga, we already figured it out. You gotta watch the stream, buddy. Somebody's gonna say it. Yeah. They got to say it. I think it's Sarah. Yeah, it's Sarah. Wow. Now, here's the thing. You're watching Cassie get her ass beat. Diddy and Cassie are friends. And by the way, I know what the defense is going to say. You and Cassie were such good friends, but you also fucked Diddy on the low. If Cassie shared her things about abuse with you and you saw bruises, this and third, why didn't you share your abuse with her? Cassie shared things that was intimate. Why wouldn't you share it? Let's be honest. You knew that was Cassie's man, but he's the boss. You trying to get whether a promotion or whatever, or you might like him a little too, and you fuck him, but you know you got to keep it secret from that girl. Be honest. That's how they're going to frame it. You knew all the shit he was doing to Cassie. Why you didn't tell Cassie, yo, you know he raped me too? Remember, Cassie alleges like 2 instances of rape. The rest of it, she basically just says, I didn't really want to do none of it. It was just kind of like sex trafficking shit. Well, I just pull out like a hair right here. Yeah, Diddy's lawyers are going to definitely say, yo, the reason why you kept it quiet, you're friends with Cassie. Cassie talks all day about Diddy. You're hired by Diddy. Yeah, sure, maybe you didn't want to lose your job, but you were fucking. Like, you did this consensually, and you never brought none of this up, ever, to the person who was telling you about her own issues. Really, nigga? Got another tweet here. She says, I would be humiliated. I would never work again. AUSA says, and who would do these things? Mia says, Puff and all these people. This was way before social media and Me Too. There was confidentiality. AUSA says, did others speak up? Mia says, Kayla Faulkner. Who is this? Let's Google her. Kayla Faulkner. Diddy.
Says, what do you remember about running? Mia says, I remember being amazed that Mia said he decided on everything. Says, what did Mr. Combs do? Mia says he got into protector survivor mode. He said to call Doc house with his kids, but then I heard about Prince's party. Prosecution says, what did you do? Mia said, beach screaming at us. It was flat and we went out far. Puff got smaller and smaller on the beach. The sky got dark.
We read that.
This is what aggressive defense lawyers do.
Yeah, you were speaking about violence between Mr. Combs and Cassie. Have you traveled to Turks and Caicos? Mia says yes. To Parakeet twice in 2012. I was going to put me. I have another deal with Puff's business. Says, what's this? Mia says, a photo of Cass eating a hot dog at the premiere of her movie, The Perfect Match. She has bruising under her makeup. I took the photo. Prosecution says, any other injuries covered up on a red carpet? Mia says, yes, at a film festival. Prosecution says, what injuries did you see? Mia says, a busted lip. She was injured. Prosecution says, where were you? Mia says, in her hotel room with Larry Sims, her hairstylist. Prosecution says, did you learn how she got the injuries? Mia says, Cass has an audio recording of Puff attacking her. Prosecution says, how did Cassie sound on the audio recording? Combs' defense team objected. Judge overruled. Mia says, panicked. I heard the sound of someone getting hit. Prosecution says, did you go to the events? Mia says, the premiere of Brad Pitt's movie, Killing Them Softly. Prosecution says, what happened at the premiere? Mia says, Puff was digging his nails into her arm and talking low. Prosecution says, what would Mr. Combs ask you to do? Mia says, take care of her. I bring her some gel. Prosecution asks, for what? Mia says, that was for the bruises. Prosecution says, let's turn to December 22nd, 2011. Mia says, at Puff's house, the mood was darker than normal. This was more of a like, Puff was upset. Prosecution says, what did he tell him? Mia says that Cass had been talking to somebody else. Prosecution says, who? Mia says, Kid Cudi. Prosecution says, how was he? Mia says, he seemed heartbroken. I never witnessed Cass do something to really cause him to be upset. I felt something bad would happen. Prosecution says, did you then see her? Mia says, in a black car with Capricorn Clark. Prosecution then says, did you reach out to anyone? Mia says, yes, to D-Rock. Prosecution then showed an exhibit. What is this? Mia said, my emails with D-Rock. Prosecution says, only the redacted one into evidence. Combs' team objected. Prosecution says he was security. Judge says, with that foundation, admit it. Prosecution read the messages. Mia says, I wrote to D-Rock, I'm worried about P. This feels different. Hit this email when you get it. Love you. Prosecution says, were you romantically involved with D-Rock? Mia says, definitely not. That's just how we talked. Prosecution then said, let's talk about the hotel nights. What was your role? Mia says, I would sometimes take them there, unpack, set up. I would have to just be like on call essentially and clean up before housekeeping. Prosecution says, what would you bring? Mia says, his lotions and potions. Mia says Astroglide and candles, some of them cheap Glade candles without the label on. They had to be white. Prosecution said, what else would you bring to the hotel? Mia says, anything he forgot at the house. Food, money. Prosecution says, how much? Mia says, a lot, like thousands of dollars. Prosecution says, do you remember seeing Cassie? Mia says, at the London Hotel in New York. I brought something up to the room. Cass opened the door. She was wearing a bright blue wig. Prosecution says, how did she appear? Mia says, like she was struggling. I asked, are you good? She closed the door.
Mm-hmm.
Prosecution says, who told you to clean the rooms? Mia says, Puff in the office. It was standard.
Is that live
Sweep
already?
the room so no housekeeper could sell anything to TMZ. Prosecution.
Okay, I think we're ahead of them, low key. So never mind. And I thought they had a different feed, but they were reading the same thing we were. Never mind. All right, cool. So how did you hear? Mia says, I heard there was an urgent call among film people. It says, what did you hear? Lay some context. Who was on the call? It says, HR, C-suite executives. It says, what were you told? If she sued, I'd have to testify. Mia says, I was supposed to say she was drinking and punched me, and that's why she was fired. Oh, who's that? Oh, this is another employee, Kayla, that somehow got let go. Okay. Maybe she witnessed some abuse too. So I was supposed to say she was drinking, punched me, and that's why she got fired. So was that why? He said, no, it was because she complained. AUSA says, when else were you told you have to testify? It says, after Capricorn Clark. Did you have to testify? No. So why didn't you go to the police about Mr. Combs sexually harassing you? It says, I didn't even consider it. AUSA says, did you have experience with police? She says, yes, I was speeding. I didn't have time to get my license renewed. Okay. I wish I had more details on this Mia person.
And you know how personal like music is to me. And so I'm the happiest motherfucker in the world, you know? Feeling good, I'm in my bag, staying in the light, you know. Hopefully I got people.
Yo, Young Miami. First of all, I'm not blaming nobody for Diddy's actions. If he's guilty of these things, he's guilty of these things. But I just want to say, I think you dealing with Diddy was the ultimate whistleblower. Okay? You fucked up his whole shit. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing because it could be a good thing if he's guilty. When Diddy started dealing with you, because you a chick that it looked like you one of them feisty chicks and Diddy couldn't handle you like he handled Cassie, Gina, Kim Porter, the rest of them, the other women who've been through it, they took note and they felt away. They saw you back talk. They saw you do all the things that Diddy used to slap them square in the mouth for. They saw all the things that what Diddy used to punish them for, you did, and he didn't bat an eye. They didn't like that shit. Then he seen him have a kid with another woman. And it emboldened them to not only file lawsuits, but it emboldened them to speak to the police. So to keep it real, if y'all wondering why Diddy in jail, y'all could thank Carisha. I don't know if she thinks about it like this, but she's the ultimate whistleblower. She's the one that showed people that Diddy only treat whoever he feels he could treat like that. Because when he get a bitch who ain't going for it, like Carisha wasn't going, like she going for the P, because Carisha's a nasty bitch. You probably could shit on her chest. But you could tell he couldn't give her no fucking black eye. This is a bitch, she from Florida. She might pull out a fucking gun and shoot you. Okay? Somebody said Diddy just adapted with the times. I agree, because I think Diddy's one way. I agree with you so much. I think it's less about Carisha. I think he was adapting with the times. Here's the thing. I've had ex-girlfriends call me expressing dismay. This is real shit. And they said, are you good? Everything cool with you? They said, well, when you was with me, you didn't do A, B, and C, and you didn't tolerate X, Y, and Z. I'm looking up now, and it looked like, you good? You letting this shit fly? And really, it's less of their concern about me. It's more of them saying, nigga, why the fuck you ain't do this when I was with you? How could, when I was with you, you was running a tight ship, nigga? You was standing on business when I was with you. If I even mentioned this, it was a no-go. I'm looking up now. That ain't a nigga I've been with. That's the problem. That's the problem. Now, Cassie and a group of other women, they're remembering they donated their 20s. They donated their 20s to this nigga. So now they 34, 35, got to go get some other dude. And they're watching Diddy do things he ain't never done in 50 years to another woman. And they're like, what's that? All right, don't believe me.
We'll dance some more, because you know we need to dance. We need a good bop.
So you backing your bop. The bop is back.
What you think? You doing an interview? I told you, we just gonna get on here and talk how we talk. You know I'm in the bop. You wouldn't even ask me no questions. See, you on that Carisha, please, time. We ain't gonna be doing no interviews now. Just talking as my friend, baby. For real.
Who you talking?
Talking to you.
No, you're not.
I'm back in my bop.
Nah, you see, he's trying to give it to Cassie. I'm talking to you. The Miami coming out of her. As I'm telling you, it really took like a little hood ghetto. It took a hood ghetto. Yo, Diddy's first fuck up. If that's your little freak off situation, you got to get these non-black women, non-black, docile, mad submissive. You do what you want. You get one of these city girl bitches, all they do is run their yeah. These type of bitches, like, all they do is talk shit. They talk shit so much. Like, I don't even think Cassie did nothing for this nigga Diddy to do something. This chick gonna do something for you to put her in a body bag, okay? The thing is, she ain't gonna stand for that, because she gonna scrap with you. I guarantee Young Miami don't got no story talking about Diddy beating her ass. She might have a story that they fought. She might have a story that they fought. I guarantee none of her stories is, yeah, Diddy kicked me and kept kicking me and kept kicking me till kicked me on till I was at the sidewalk. Fuck no. You know what she gonna say? Nah, yeah, we fought. Yeah, that nigga, yeah, he thought he was playing me. I slapped his ass with a frying pan. Yeah, I guarantee. Diddy fucked up because now he was trying to adjust to the times and thought he could handle like a little ratchet hood bitch. These type of chicks are built differently. They think like men. I'm keeping the bean with you. Diddy needed a non-black, docile, super submissive woman that he could run all over. He from the 90s. They're heavy-handed. He still was running around like Tupac still alive and Sugar was still on the West. he ran to a city girl and she started challenging, and he was like trying to adjust, but that adjustment he had to make to her, his other chicks is like, well, why he treat me like that if he don't do that to her? Wait, she could talk back to him? Could you imagine Cassie talking back to Diddy like this in public, bro? This nigga was applying the pimp hand in a way we've never seen. The nigga went to Prince concert and was slapping the you could tell when he was slapping Cassie, he not only slapping her with the palm, he slapped her with the whole forearm. Bitch! He ain't doing that to Young Miami. All them chicks who took bruises, broken limbs, gashes, stitches, everything from this nigga was like, oh, hell, I know this bitch nigga is not now allowing women to talk back to him. All right, fuck that, man. Hell no. The reason why Cassie sued is not only because of her husband. It's 80% is because of her husband. The 20% is her saying, if I ain't go through all that ass whooping I took, there would be no Carisha. I took the arrows for it to be a you. Hell no, I need some bread.
Okay, then.
Okay, you know that.
I know you back in your box.
I'm gonna ask you, am I back in my box?
I already know what time it is.
Yeah, you know what time it is. What time is it?
It's Friday. It's shot o'clock.
Let's go.
Here's the thing, too. Carisha's a modern day woman. 70% of these like wannabe city girl, hot girls, they're all alcoholics. Women these days, I think, let me tell you, if y'all have a young daughter, I don't know how old y'all are, but if you have a daughter that's about to be like 18 or she's 18 and she about to be 21, listen, number one, you got to keep it. You got to keep your daughter off alcohol. Alcohol, let me tell you this, and I'm saying this as an alcoholic, okay, or alleged alcoholic. That type of shit, it'll ruin. It affects women way more than men, 100%. You get what I'm saying? Because men, we learn accountability. With alcohol and women, it turns them into babies. Like they feel like they could just, they wake up and like, what happened? It's kind of crazy. Diddy introduced Cassie and them to drugs. A chick like Carisha, she been off that 2C. She from Florida, that K2. She might be on crack cocaine. I don't know what she on. But she definitely was drinking all them little shot o'clock bitches. Yeah, Diddy from a different era, man. Diddy probably think that he could have got her the same way. Like, nah, that ain't Cassie, bro. That ain't Cassie, bro. This bitch an alcoholic before you. And she probably do a little snorting. But you know them chicks in Florida, they built different. Yo, Kodak been taking fake perks for 10 years. That nigga alive as a motherfucker. I'm like, how the hell? Nigga rap, they told me the perks was fake, but I still ate it. And you're like, what? Florida niggas is different. Rest in peace, Rich Homie Quan. As soon as he got some late shit, he dead. Kodak Black is bragging about taking fake shit. That nigga's alive as hell. Florida niggas is different. So I think whatever little concoction, the little Diddy pack that he had going on, that he was passing to the chicks, like, Cassie was probably like a zombie. Carisha, like, this is a Florida chick, man. She built differently. Diddy should have stuck to these non-black women who are docile and basically allow you to do whatever you want. Submissive chicks. Tell you.
No, for real. What you doing though?
I'm getting my hair. I got a show tonight.
Also, I think them women watch how Young Miami, even though I think she was capping, she was still a concubine. She talked about Diddy like Diddy was a trick. And all of them, the only way they could have access to Diddy like that, they would have to be completely in love. She never was like she was talking about Diddy like he's a trick. Like, yeah, that nigga buying me this, buying me that. Now, granted, she's still a side chick because the current culture, you just spend some money on a chick and fuck 3 other chicks. That's how it works. But them other girls was watching like, oh, this ain't the Diddy I know.
Can we bring the music out here? We got music.
Yeah, I want to hear
Shout out to everybody.
I want to hear "Gotta Move On." That's my song.
All right, we're gonna get Gotta Move On.
We gotta take a shot for our ex.
It's Shot 5X. We single as a motherfucker. Yeah.
Single.
Cheers. Single and free.
Cheers to us single.
Here's the new hit single. Turn it up. I was crying like a baby. I ain't want to go out there in that big world. Shout out to anybody that got fired though. But for me, my shit was just, I ain't had no more choice. So he wasn't f***ing with me no more.
Oh, you talking about his ex?
I'm one of them.
Let's talk about the single. What the single about?
Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
I'm gonna get into that. I'm gonna wait till next week and really get into that a little bit deeper. I don't want to get into that with you. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about that today. All I can say is sometimes you gotta move on. Sometimes
I think he's talking about Cassie right here.
For real, with like everything. I'm one of the people that it's like that. It's hard for me to move on. I remember when I got fired from Uptown, I was crying like a baby. I ain't want to go out there in that big world. Shout out to anybody that got fired though. But for me, my shit was just, I ain't had no more choice. So he wasn't f***ing with me no more. It was over. You know how when it be just over, there ain't no coming back. It was over. Real quick. Over real bad, baby. Real bad.
Man, he's about over real bad. What?
Yeah, karma's a motherfucker. No matter what, you're gonna get hit with something back. You know what I'm saying? Cheers though.
I already took my shot.
You said what? Mo? I own Deleon, so I can take more shots. It's all right. And I'm feeling good as fuck about it. I don't give a. You give up? What's going on?
No,
you gotta.
I don't move about nothing.
Yo, Diddy got defeated by a city girl, man. Yo, Diddy, man, this is what you gotta know. You aging out. These young bitches, they like you, my nigga. like the one thing I say about Young Miami, the only way I was able to get to her is calling her a side chick. And me, I know how to get under everybody's skin. Yo, that little blind bitch Absol, that nigga today, he punching. He might be beating up on his bitch today. I know how to trust that nigga. Trust me, I got like 50 Crips and 50 Bloods trying to threaten me. It's all good. Y'all know the address. I don't care. I know how to get under somebody's skin. The only way I was able to get under Young Miami's skin was the side chick thing. Because honestly, Young Miami was never like that deep in love with Diddy. Like Cassie. Like Cassie and them, like you could tell. Bro, Cassie loved this nigga beyond belief. What Young Miami did, Young Miami knew how to appease his ego. So, for example, Young Miami would do shit that Cassie wouldn't do, but Cassie loved him way more than Young Miami did. Young Miami know this nigga's egotistical. He think, this is a take that world. She gonna bring up a sign. Go Poppy, or whatever the fuck she call him. Look, Young Miami sign. She knows, okay, this egotistical fuck, to get him to feel like I'm whatever, I'm gonna just hold up this sign. Bro, but she was never, if you compare Young Miami to Cassie's love, you crazy. Like, you gotta see, nigga, Cassie gave the low to her side nigga that Diddy could go run up in a nigga crib and blow up his car later on. Come on, bro. Like, this nigga, she loved Diddy more than life, my nigga. If you asked Cassie back then if she loved Diddy more than herself, she'd probably say yes. I promise you. Nigga, she shaved half of her head. Nigga, she would do anything for that nigga. Anything. Yo, Young Miami is like one of these modern bitches. They don't love you as much as they love, like, bragging about you tricking on them. Like, she hold up the sign, but then she gonna show off the Maybach you bought her. She just looking at you like a trick. She, like, modern culture of, like, a lot of these girls who are, like, city girls, relationships for them are them being smutted out by a nigga who, it's not that they're in love with him, is that the nigga is a trick to them. But then they do the most. So he's going to be like, oh, go Poppy. Cassie ain't never hold up a sign like this. But come on, Cassie's love is a million times more. Cassie wanted to have a family with a nigga. Cassie's heart melted when she seen on Instagram when Cassie seen on Instagram, did he say, yo, Kim Porter was my soulmate? A bitch like Young Miami, I meet bitches like this all the time. I know when the bitches like Young Miami, you know what they say? They be like, yo, you don't hit me up. Like, yo, you only hit me up when your other bitches, like, it's like they assume you already got bad bitches. These girls don't want no love. They just want, it's like a weird dating cycle now. It's like you have your own little time with them, but they understand you got other bitches. So I think that's what Diddy was trying to adopt to. Young Miami don't give a fuck. Cassie's in love with you. What Diddy was doing, you need a bitch to be in love with you for. You need a bitch to be completely in love with you that when you backhand the fuck out of her, she love you so much, she thinks you slapped her to her senses, not abused her. I guarantee he didn't put one hand on Young Miami. He pissed on her because she a freak chick. Like, she from Florida. She freak. He probably shitted on her, pissed on her. She freaky. She might even let another nigga fuck her. I ain't gonna hold you. She might let another nigga fuck her. Be like, all right. Now, Young Miami ain't gonna be like, you gonna get a prostitute. She'll be like, well, like, she probably the person be like, well, if you get Shadork over here, I'll fuck him. You know, I mean, one of them type of shit, you know? So she'll probably, as long as it's another celebrity, she'd probably let the freak off happen, right? Like, yeah, Diddy, you could be in the corner as long as I'm fucking Usher or something. Like, whatever guy. I don't think she gonna fuck no random for Diddy. She don't fuck with Diddy like that. That's the modern day girl. Huh? What? They agreed what? All right, man. Y'all don't want to believe me. Okay, we got some more tweets. Okay. This is, here we go. All right. So this is after they ask her if she ever has to testify. Mia says, it was the only time my name dropped. I told her who I worked for and I said, get him on the phone. I did and she laughed. Oh, Puff Daddy, I love you. Did you get a ticket? So basically she said when the police pulled her over one time, she name dropped Diddy and they said, get him on the phone if you claim you were speeding to go do something for Puff Daddy. She said, okay, all right, I'll do it if you don't give me a ticket. The person laughed and they got Diddy on the phone and I guess they said, did you get a ticket? No. So it looked like the officer didn't give her a ticket because she realized she was telling the truth. She does work for Puff Daddy. AUSA says, why didn't you tell us at first about the sexual assaults? Mia says, it's the most shameful thing in my life. AUSA says, did you get a lawyer for this testimony? Mia says, yes. AUSA says, did you speak about these sexual assaults before or after you get the lawyer? She says, after. AUSA says, do you want to be talking about sexual assaults? She says, no, it's traumatizing. It says, why are you here today? The judge says, Ms. Miser, you asked that already. AUSA says, we could break here. The juror says, we'll see you tomorrow. Jurors leave. Agnifilo says, the government sent us a letter at 11 p.m. last night asking about changes to their direct case with fewer witnesses. It might make her case longer. The judge says that's vague. Agnifilo says, I still see July 4th as probably when we're going to end. So they're saying, they're thinking we're going to be done in 4 weeks. I think we're going to be done in 5. Which 5 would, this is the 3rd week. Is it 3rd week? Yeah, 3rd week. So that would make 8 weeks. The government has said, now we're going to be done in like 6 weeks, maybe even 5. So Agnifilo is just, they're going over scheduling. They're like, nah, we're still going to take the same amount of time. We'll see. The judge actually adjourns it, and now we are here. Ole. Ole, chat. Ooh, sorry.
Ruling last night, we're going to be paused. Now, thanks to the ruling this afternoon, they will not be paused. They'll be back on. So we'll sort of be back to square one.
Okay, that's about President Trump. Let's see. All right. We'll... Gotta go get my man Logic, man, but he's going to take a while to get out of court, probably. So they just wrapped court for the day. It looks like they're going to be trying to wrap court at 4 o'clock this entire week. There's only one more day left, which is Friday. And by the way, this is week 3, officially day 12 today. Keep in mind, July 4th is going to be a very important. The reason why they're talking about July 4th is that because July 4th is pretty much one of the biggest and most important federal holidays. It's obviously the 4th of July. If you don't know, if you live outside the United States, it's the American Independence Day. If this case goes beyond that, let's see where, I'll tell you where, let's just Google it. When does July 4th fall on? It falls on Friday. Because it falls on a Friday, a lot of times government employees like to take even a longer vacation, so they'll take off the Thursday. I think the judge is gonna, if it goes into July, they're only gonna have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and then they're gonna take off Thursday and Friday, or they're gonna take off that Friday and the Monday. They're gonna take off 2 days, and just because of that, it's gonna push it to another week. So the thing with like scheduling these trials and how long it's gonna last is, you got to plan for these holidays, and you got to think about when there's a week that you're missing 2 or 3 days, it's going to take another week. So again, the problem here is, even though you have 18 jurors, you only need 12. You have 6 alternates. Usually sometimes they only have 4, so they have 16. You don't want to lose jurors because you're dragging it too long. Everybody got jobs. They can't work their jobs while this is happening. They're just constantly coming here over and over again. And also, when it comes to time for deliberation, you don't want to put people up against the clock. Here's the thing about this. This is a strategy during trials. I've actually read a lot about this. For example, if they rest, say they rest on Wednesday at, 11 a.m. So the closing statements happen Wednesday at 11 a.m. Well, Friday is July 4th. The jurors want to go home. The jurors are exhausted. The jurors might, instead of fighting, because that's what happens, they argue and be like, no, I want to vote not guilty. Or I want to vote guilty. They got to get a unanimous either way. People might be like, man, I don't want to get sequestered. So when you get sequestered, the judge could actually hold you until, you go, not necessarily home, they could go to a hotel, but you're fuck what's going on. Y'all are locked in. You're not going home till y'all make this decision. When it comes time to it's about to be a big holiday like this, people might just vote to agree with the majority. So say it's 9-3. 3 says not guilty, 9 think they're guilty. Instead of the 3 trying to argue the points and trying to whatever, and maybe they could get people on their side or whatever, they might be like, man, fuck it, man. I don't fuck with Diddy enough not to go get that, good old July 4th barbecue. So they're trying to finish way before it. That's not a thing, or if it's it's either we're gonna finish before July starts, or it's gonna go to July 15th or 10th. Do you get what I'm saying? Somebody said July 4th in Texas is different. Why y'all don't invite me? Yo, chat, would y'all invite me to the family barbecue? Y'all need to go to a good cookout. You know when I realized I lived in a white neighborhood? Chat, well, I already knew. Well, y'all saw me walk out with my hands up. Say, I knew what's up. Chat. Yo, it's Memorial Day weekend. I heard people had their grills going on. I'm looking on the gram. I'm seeing the hood is popping. Man, I ain't smelling not one barbecue over here, man. I got to get a new grill. But nobody was doing nothing. Over where I live at, it was just quiet as hell. Who got y'all need to go to a cookout that day. Holy. That day is all about a cookout and fireworks, ain't it? I used to invite people to my crib, but I realized it's too much of a liability. Too much. Yeah, I got a lot of space. I got everything, but if I invite 20 people over, and I'm thinking about 20 possible lawsuits, I don't invite man or woman over to my crib no more. Well, maybe one person, but I don't do groups no more. I got 2 Independence Days. I celebrate July 4th, and I celebrate August 6th. That's Jamaica Independence. Yo, chat, my favorite rumor about myself these days? So, there's these channels that claim, or, I'll see them, I don't know, I think it's because, what's her name said some shit? They've been tagging ICE. I'm like, yo, these niggas actually think I could get deported? I'm like, all right, I'm about to play into this. This is lit. Plus, it's another reason to always remind y'all, I don't care what y'all think about me. The country, without that country back there, I'm not here. So I love it. But unfortunately for y'all, I'm stuck here. I'm actually about to do some dope shit. I'm about to so when I got my citizenship, I actually because we grandfathered into it, like there was no choice. What do I gotta do? I gotta re-get my Jamaican citizenship because I want to be a dual citizenship. So I'm technically not a Jamaican citizen, but I need to be, like, I gotta be. Like, look, I got Bob Marley on the shirt. Like, come on, man. Y'all niggas know I'm Jamaican as fuck. So I want to be, listen, as much as I love Jamaican, I was born there. Ain't no other country better than America, man. I love it over here. I love it here. But I love Jamaica too. So I need to be a dual citizenship. So I'm actually about to apply, I think this year. And it's going to be easy because I was born there. So they're just going to be like, oh, you want to be a dual citizenship? The only thing I got to think about is taxes. Because when you do dual citizenship, they both try to hold you accountable. But yeah, dual citizen act, it's going to be great. That means I get 2 passports. Yeah, yo, they be having this conspiracy. They're like, yo, we're calling ICE on act. Sorry, you stupid ass niggas. Listen, I've been a full citizen for a long time. For a long time. It's sorry. Now I just got to get my Jamaican citizen back because if I ever want to run for politics, I could run for everything in America but president. So president, you got to be born here. I wasn't born here. Jamaica, I was born there. So if, you know what I mean, you never know. Big Guy gets so lit, I might have to go pull a shine move. Go try to be it's not president, it's called prime minister. Prime minister of Jamaica. So I'm getting my dual citizenship this year. Also my law degree. Law degree, dual citizenship, and I'm going to buy 4 more houses that I could, I've been getting in real estate. That's not flex, it's just tell you the truth. All right. Okay, we're waiting on these people to get out of court, bruh. Yo, hit me with some other hip-hop topics, chat, because interesting day in court, but, like, I understand. Yo, we be rocking out for, like, hours. Y'all want to hear about Diddy this whole time. Like, y'all be like, can we talk about something else? I know. The boss man, D-Lo, trust me. I can't really say what I want to say, but I tried. Okay. Someone said, bro, you're not going back to Jamaica? No, I am. No, not like, no. I would never live. Oh, hold on. Listen, I come from Jamaica. That's why I tell, and I know people be like, yo, you're a tether. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm here. Tether, I don't give a fuck. I'm here to tell all y'all black ass motherfuckers, I come from Jamaica and America's the best country. When I hear black Americans, they be like, yo, oh yeah, man, it's so bad over here, the police brutality. I be looking at them like, shut the fuck up. This is the best. This is closest to paradise, unless you die. Heaven is better. Okay, we're waiting on just some after court stuff. No, I'm about to buy a house in Jamaica just for my mom, though. My mom older, so like my mom don't even got no friends over here. My mom really want to go back to Jamaica, live on the beach. But like I'm looking at like, I want her to stay close to me. But if you ask me, if I told my mom today, if I texted her saying, I bought her a house, I'm like, hey, we're going to buy you this nice beach front property in like Montego Bay. Well, she might say no because her sons are here. But yeah, she loves Jamaica. She don't like it over here. It's not like it. It's just like she came over here older. Bro, I came over here when I was like 10, 11. So like I have memories of Jamaica, but like the rest of, I think I'm in my 30s. 2/3 of my life has been here, Like my mom, when did my mom come here? I forgot. But way more than half of my, maybe by now. Yeah, well, half of my mom's life is still in Jamaica, right? So. And for the people who like to speak about me and where I come from, I love it and appreciate it. That country, I wear it on my back. I love it. I hope y'all don't think me covering certain shit or me speaking about maybe people who ain't from Jamaica. I love America. Where I lived there, I used to walk barefoot. We lived a good life, but without America, I would not be this. So I love the USA. I love the Constitution. I love everything about it. I ain't gonna lie to you, I wouldn't even go back to Jamaica to live. I do love Jamaica though. So for the interested parties, and I do see a few who'd be like, yo, they constantly talk about me and like immigration these days. Oh, I love it. I don't care. It's impossible. I can't get deported. I'm a citizen. Y'all stuck with me for life. I seen them do like, yo, they mentioned me some shit. They tagged ICE. They say, yo, ICE, you got to get this nigga for, what is it? Immigration fraud. I don't know if the rules change with that. If you wonder how I got to America, you get when you're a child, if once paperwork and everything go through, you automatically, like, I know my oldest brother, he had to apply. He had to really do some shit to get it because he was over 18. I'm the youngest. Me and my second brother, we just, one day just be like, hey, here's your green card. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. All right, anyway. Jesus, I'm waiting for people to come out of court. Should I move to Houston? So let me tell you my problem with Houston. I've been to Houston. I do like Houston. Here's the